FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Bringing it to the table with you on a Monday. Food to table, ladies and gentlemen. What do they farm to table? What do they call that? Farm to table, food to table. Anyway, special thanks to AM and BH for doing it last night. Whew, I got water on me. I'm already sweaty. Bino. Laura's saying, why don't you go to a break? I just got out of the shower, Bino. You have a thought on that? And I realized what time it was. Bino, you have a thought on that?
I would, Tony, but I jumped in here just about 1 minute ago. So
there you go. So let's
not for me to comment on.
Let's do a pre-production meeting real quick, and I'm going to ask the living listener as well. And I need my folks on Twitter and over on YouTube to vote for it. Vote for it or against it. Josh Elander is being introduced at 1:30 this hour. Live over at UT. Press conference that it will be available to us. Bino, it is a football Monday. These are very sacred. I feel kind of baseballed out, but I feel like we should take it, but I feel kind of baseballed out. Where is Bino Jeff Henderson on this, if anywhere?
I think that we should take it and celebrate the hiring, which was absolutely the right thing to do.
All right. Brian, what's your vote? Are you baseball?
I say
where are you?
I say we take it for sure. I think it'll be a feel good.
All right.
And I think we need all the feel good we can get.
All right.
Because I want to just let everyone hear him speak. Because I'm sure some fans, it's the first time they'll get a chance to hear him. So,
Bino, my kids call what Elander did. My kids call Elander what he's done a glow up.
A glow up?
Bino, what do you think of the glow up? What do you think of the Elander glow up?
I'm for it. To quote another of your relatives, I'm for it.
When I saw him the other day, I didn't recognize him. I thought they had Manchurian baseball coach.
Yeah, sorry, I'm with you now. No,
he glowed up.
I saw the video of Danny White announcing it to the team and their response to it, and I didn't know who he was when they showed him at first.
Exactly. Total glow up.
It glowed up my day, I'll tell you that.
I think Vitello was clean shaved when they introduced him.
Oh, Vitello
didn't look anything like he looked when he was coaching in the dugout.
Vitello looked exactly like a mugshot of Frank Sinatra that's out there. Maybe I'll put those side by side over on the blog tomorrow. But when they introduced Vitello, he looked like one of Frank Sinatra's mugshots from the 50s. So, we have a lot to talk about. Bino, do you are you ready for this stretch drive? And can you believe that our defense is actually a few spots behind Ole Miss's defense? You know, I'm watching Ole Miss Saturday and I'm going, man, these guys just totally disrespect that side of the football. And then we kick off. Okay?
Yeah.
And then we kick off. Because that Kentucky team cannot play, Bean. They can't play on offense except us. Against us, they had pretty comfortable against us, Bino.
You know, I think they got a lot of yards against Texas, but the difference with us, you get a lot of yards on us, you get a lot of points too.
That's right. Because
I'll give them this. They're obviously better offensively with Cutter Boley at quarterback than they were Zach Calzada or whatever his name was.
So I turned over to you, Bino. Go. Any thoughts from the weekend? This is generally what we do. Before Bino does that, shout out to the Titans yesterday, who really represented against Bino's Colts. If you're a Titan fan and you're listening today, you have my sympathy. Shout out to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland radio today. Darryl Ryder on the Ken Carman show. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. The term unserious came up like 3 or 4 times, and he said, the only conclusion I have is the Browns are an extremely unserious organization, which is a shock for any sports entity managed by Jimmy Haslam to be called unserious. I mean, the Dickens, you say, quoting Jed Clampett. But go ahead, Beanstar. Anything on your mind? Hit it.
Well, Tony's another SEC win for the good guys, which I'll always celebrate, especially on the road and especially against Kentucky. But you certainly had to battle through spurts of frustration because of our defensive deficiencies. It's like having a bad bullpen. It's hard to know when you have enough or when you can take a breath or when you can relax. Offensively, really happy with our offensive performance. Didn't run the ball as effectively as we usually do, but for the entire first half, Kentucky was in a one deep safety alignment, to which we said thank you very much and took every advantage of it. Thought Joey was very sharp. Brazel reemerged, and Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley continued to show why they were so highly regarded coming out of high school by this staff. Really good performance offensively by any measure. Defensively, not so much. Made what had been a pedestrian offense look like a machine. And as I said, I think Cats are obviously better with Cutter Boley than they were with Zach Calzado. But I mean, come on, it's still Kentucky in their offense. Gave up a quarter short of 500 yards against that team, which is unbelievable. But through all the ineptitude, however, they did again somehow score a touchdown. Gave the offense a point-blank opportunity on one of the wackiest takeaways you're ever going to witness if you can watch football the rest of your life. And somehow came out and held Kentucky scoreless in the first 2 possessions of the third quarter, which allowed Tennessee's offense to once again get a comfortable separation. I guess in closing, what I thought about the weekend, I just want to say how grateful I am for the contrast in the last 2 Saturdays. On Saturday the 18th, around midday, word began to break that Tony Vitello was the Giants' main target, and they were in serious discussions to hire him as their manager. Then at the end of the half against Alabama, Joey made the only devastating play that he's made since he's been here with the pick 6 that you just knew at the time would be difficult, if not impossible, to overcome. Now, fast forward to last Saturday. News breaks around midday that Danny White has had a flash of sanity and made an excellent hire in a timely manner with Josh Elander replacing Tony. Then later that evening, again at the end of the half, Joey football leads Tennessee on a 10-play, 75-yard touchdown drive in a minute and a half to restore a 2-touchdown lead that the Vols would never relinquish. So the moral of that story, I guess, for us Vol fans is just keep moving forward. Just keep on keeping on.
Amen to that, Bino. Well said. So Bino has his say. You get your say on the other side. Brian, excellent job with Al last night. Brian, your thoughts on the Hoops team? What was the response like? Were most fans understanding that they basically watched a practice and neither coach was really concerned about the outcome? Both guys were trying different outcomes. In fact, Mark Griffin will be here 3/4 of the way through our second hour and into our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. He's seen more practice, I'd say, than anybody alive for this team. So he can give us a pretty good idea of what we saw that was real and what we saw that was kind of Memorex last night. But I hope, Brian, because I fell asleep after the game. I was conked out. I was up to like 5 a.m. Takes me like a good day and a half to recover from those late night games. Bri, and to some of you Commodians who were posting on YouTube last night when I was watching Alex, boy, Tony's gotten younger and better looking. I'm gonna deal with you in the third hour. No, I'm just kidding. I'd be doing the same thing. Bri, I hope most callers, and I know your first one last night was all emotional. But, any guess who that first caller would have been that was very emotional and very negative about what he just witnessed in a literal practice game in October?
I'd say the artist known forever as Negative.
And Negative, is Bishop Boswell going to play 24 minutes a night at the off-guard Negative? And I'm sure Negative's at I told him back in spring. Hey, Dave, they're just trying to get the Abram guys' attention. That's all they're doing. Because that poor Boswell guy is like a Division II player as an offensive player. Now, he can play. He can defend. He defends fine. But he is like a D2 player on offense. Bri, I hope most people were positive. Were they?
Yeah, I think they were. I think they were excited about the potential of the team and the fact that Duke is really good. And Duke may have tried to win more than Tennessee did with Cameron Boozer playing, I think, 39 of the 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and then you had a really good first half. You were up 7 or 8 on them most of the way. And I think a lot of fans took from that, like, okay, that's promising. That looks this team did enough to where I'm looking forward to seeing how good they can be. And the only way they could have been negative is if they go out there and let's just say Duke wins by like 20 or more, and it's never close. I think in that instance, you might have had more negativity. But I think the only thing that, as long as you were competitive, as long as the game, you didn't have to win, it was close, it was within single digits. I don't think anybody had more than a 10-point lead all night. So there's that. So I think, they were positive. I think it was a positive. It wasn't that way.
Two things. That Amari Abram looks like he's shot out of 1975. I'm waiting for the Spirit of St. Louis to come back. I'm expecting to read about Amari Abram in the next edition of Loose Balls by Terry Pluto. He looks like a refugee from the ABA. That's one. Two,
Marvin Barnes' team.
Yeah, he looks. Doesn't he, Bino? Doesn't he look like he's from 1970 something? He really does. So you got that. Second thing is this Dwayne Brown guy. That's how you get lucky. When Tennessee signed him, he was way overweight. Neither Auburn nor Alabama wanted him because he didn't really fit what they do. He lost a ton of weight. He comes into camp. They were thinking they had a project. We wrote about it. tclub.team. If you Google his name, you'll see we wrote about it in the summer. And they realized pretty early on this is a big, powerful young man with very good hands, who's extremely nimble, who can play. So we're mixing 3 sports here. Bino, if ever there was a week where you could afford to be without, and I don't know what his status is going to be this week going forward, but Colton Hood has some kind of leg muscle thingy, where he's kind of gimpy right now. I'm not sure Oklahoma could complete passes against air, Bino. Now, watch my words come back on me, but did you watch them? Did you watch how bad this Mateer guy was?
Yeah, he's not right yet, Tony, and their offensive line is not good. Somehow Texas and Oklahoma wound up with offensive lines that are not good. So obviously we can't defend the way that we did Saturday night and win any of our remaining SEC games. But I think that against Oklahoma, I believe our front can have a lot more effect on them than they did on Kentucky.
They better.
Our defensive front.
They better.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Because if our guys don't get more, if our guys up front don't get with the program, we're going to lose 3 games down the stretch here.
Yeah, we can't beat anyone left on our schedule defending the way that we, except New Mexico State. Can't beat any SEC teams remaining on our schedule defending the way that we did Saturday night.
That's right. And we'll come back on the other side. And as Thrody said today, which I've been thinking for some time, we need other teams that we've played to beat people. Two of them had perfect opportunities over the weekend. How Mississippi State lost that Texas game? They're at home. They made every bad decision. This Jeff Levy guy, man, he can't manage football games. I'm sure he's a great offensive coordinator, but those 4 or 5 plays that you're paid to make when you're a head coach, man, he was wrong in our game, and boy, he was really bad against Texas. And then the other one, that darn Arkansas team, the only way they weren't going to beat Auburn Saturday was to turn a ball over. And they did it 4 times. 4 times in the last 15 minutes of the game. I mean, you talk about some losers. And somehow this team in Nashville, like Cinco said on our Garza-Law 5th quarter fan reaction, we were on to like 3:30 in the morning, but somehow Cinco said, somehow at Vanderbilt, they've been a lifelong loser, and they figured out how to win these games. Which, hey, Clark Lee, kudos to you, man, because that is not an easy thing to do. Diego Pavia, kudos to you. Take a brief timeout and come back with more on the other side. It's a Monday edition. We'll hear Elander's press conference, but we're not going to take Josh Heupel's press conference. We haven't been doing that. Most of you like that. Our numbers seem to indicate that you really like that. We'll take a brief timeout and come back with more. Or, Bino, do we take today Heupel's press conference since it's Oklahoma and we've got that tension? What do you think?
No, I think we've made that decision, Tony. I think we only take one press conference today, and it's Elander.
Can you imagine that's what Tony Vitello did to our baseball program? That we're at Oklahoma week and we're going to take one press conference, and it's the baseball one. And I kind of agree with that. How about you, Brian Hartman? Do you agree with that decision?
I think even Barney Boy would be approval of this. Yeah, I do agree with that.
I had a smile on my face to evoke that clown's name after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place that's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Shout out to my man Isaac, Ikey, the junk man Moore, who just dropped off. Bino, he just made it rain on me. Bino's, to the uninitiated, does my garage like a disaster area?
Your garage
yes.
Has very little wiggle room, Tony.
Isaac just dropped off a couple thousand sheets of vintage sheet music for me to go through. Just made me a little gay. Just texted me, said I'm right outside your house. Brian's laughing at it. Laura's not laughing. Laura's not laughing. I said, Isaac just brought a bunch of shit. She said, why? She screamed downstairs, why? like kind of defiantly, kind of angrily, but here we are. We've got three things converging on us. We've got Josh Elander's press conference coming up in a mere matter of moments over at the University of Tennessee. We have Tennessee and Oklahoma this week. And then last night, our basketball Vols got it on, bang a gong, got it on with the very top of college basketball in Duke. Tennessee obviously will have a few ramp-up games before they get it on. And to me, Bino, this is kind of unnatural because to me, and I love my college basketball, but I really don't get in the mood till the holidays, specifically like after the first of the year, if that's a fair thing to say. Just kind of my sense of this deal, but Josh Elander press conference will be coming up here momentarily, and we'll get in the mix and in the hunt. So the Elander thing is interesting. I wrote about it today in the blog. Here's the deal. They were going to do a nationwide search, but it became readily apparent that they kind of weren't going to get anywhere with it. They got bombarded, and I mean bombarded over there, from former players from several different eras. You got to hire this guy. You got to give this guy a shot. And to Danny White's credit, and he said this at the press conference the other day, he doesn't make it. It's his policy. He doesn't get to know coaches, and particularly assistant coaches. So he didn't know the kid from Adam, Josh Elander. And he becomes very comfortable with the concept of Josh Elander is not going to give me a headache like Tony Vitello did. Here's the thing that we do when we report things. I don't pussyfoot around things. That style's not for everybody, and that's fine. I think Danny had to be comfortable that, hey, this guy's not going to be like Tony, and he's not going to run me over. You know? I think he had to be comfortable with that. And so, with that in mind, and then also what happened was they reached out to a bunch of different people, and they didn't get anywhere. They weren't getting anywhere. And so they decided, I got it right here. They decided, you know what? Let's just make the hire. And to Bino's point, let's just go ahead and announce it. And Bino, I think that's the right decision. Not let the thing drag out. even announce it on a football Saturday. Just let it leak out. Let themselves let it leak out. You know what I mean? I think it's the right decision.
Yeah, I absolutely was delighted with the decision, Tony. The initial list that we saw from a head coaching standpoint, Elander probably didn't have the resume that those other guys did.
Yep.
But he had so much to do with building what we have here. And I really believe that the most important thing and the best way to try to keep this thing rolling was continuity. And he provided that when none of the other guys could have.
That's right. And the other thing is, as I learned more about him, which is he turned down several jobs. He could have had the South Carolina job if he'd have wanted it a couple years ago when they went back with, I think Maneri is who they hired, who was at LSU at one point. And there were several different avenues and opportunities for him. He didn't take them. And now he's had a glow up. You know what his glow up makes me think, Bino? And I don't know this for a fact, but it's almost like they had an inkling this thing was coming. Because he looks totally different. I mean, he's had a total glow up. Did you have that thought, or am I the only one that had that thought?
Yeah, I like I told you, I didn't know who it was
Yeah.
at the first of the video when they were showing him. I'd never seen him without a beard. I doubt his little girls have ever seen him without a beard. I mean, Tony, the bottom line is he earned it and he deserved it, and I'm glad he got it.
So we're going to run the press conference here. Here they come.
Awesome day here at Tennessee. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. We will first hear from Vice Chancellor and Director of Athletics Danny White at the podium.
Vice Chancellor.
Following Danny's opening remarks, he will introduce Josh, our 26th coach in Tennessee history. Josh will give opening remarks here at the podium, and then he will do his Q&A up here. Once his Q&A is complete, we will do a quick photo session. And then following that, Danny will be available on the side for anyone that needs him for some follow-up questions. With that, may I please introduce Vice Chancellor and Director of Athletics, Danny White.
Thank you all for coming back together on short notice once again. This is our second press conference about our baseball program in less than a week. I want to acknowledge our whole team that's behind this, whatever we call this wall, but this perforated wall. Y'all can't see them. There's not enough room in our studio here for everybody, but they're here to support Coach Elander. I'll start off by thanking Tony Vitello once again on everything he built for this program. We have the dominant program in college baseball, and when he came here 8 years ago, as we all know, that wasn't the case. Opening up a new $109 million ballpark this season, sold out already, and it has been sold out. Lindsey Nelson Field has been sold out for the last few years because of his hard work and everything that we've built and accomplished together. So excited for Tony and his opportunity, and congrats to him again. I also want to thank Frank Anderson for his work as our interim head coach. Short stint. Had no idea how long that would be needed, but it was important for our team to have leadership, and important for Josh to be able to focus on, I think, would be the biggest interview of his life, and one that he certainly excelled at. Want to thank our committee, my staff, those that work most closely with our baseball program, and will continue to, in supporting our baseball staff and our student athletes. And also Todd Helton was a great sounding board through the process. Tony kept me informed throughout this, his process with the Giants. So I've been preparing for this since the third Saturday in October, when I thought it would be a little more real. Still didn't know. He obviously hadn't made a decision, but with the unique timing in college baseball, we knew we needed to be prepared. if he did make that decision. And so we've been vetting the top candidates in the country. And narrowing that list pretty significantly when you consider our standard as a program, what we've accomplished. It would take a special person to come in here, and we had some really special leaders that have accomplished a lot in baseball, in college baseball as coaches. Before I started any interviews, I needed to meet with our student athlete group. Y'all have heard me talk about that before. The first thing we did with the team, we did a quick Zoom to make it easier for them. They'd already finished up at the building, but asked them to vote on a leadership group. We had a great, productive meeting, helped me understand where they were seeing things from their perspective, very positive. I won't get into the detail of that meeting, but it was all extremely positive, as you'd expect. When we're having the kind of success that we're having, we have a really positive culture. Kids are having fun, and we're winning at a really high level. We had a couple of options. We could have continued with an interim and had a ton of confidence in Coach Anderson to do that for us, and the staff to keep things in place, and to do a search at a more traditional time in the spring, or we could make a long-term permanent hire to establish a foundation for the future for our baseball program. And that's ultimately the decision that we made. No matter who we hired, if it wasn't an interim capacity, it was a long-term decision, and with a 5-year contract like we do for all of our head coaches. It's not a secret. I'll be introducing here shortly our new head coach, Josh Elander. A couple highlights that we should all know about, but because you all know Josh and you know our program, so I'm going to pretend like I'm introducing somebody new to Vol Nation. I'm going to be introducing the recruiting coordinator and hitting coach for the last 8 years of the most successful program in college baseball. Under his leadership and tutelage, our program has had an NCAA leading 695 home runs. We've led the country in runs and home runs in 2022 and 2024. We are the first and only SEC team to ever win 60 games in a season. We've been to 5 Supers in the last 5 years, 3 trips to Omaha that we're all very familiar with and fond of over the last 5 years. Josh has coached 27 players that have been drafted that he's worked directly with, 6 first-rounders, and obviously the 2024 National Championship. I'm extremely confident in his leadership and his ability to continue the success we've been having and to continue to build on it, to continue our dominance as the best baseball program in the country. Couldn't be more proud to introduce your new head coach, the head coach of our Tennessee Volunteers baseball program, Josh Elander.
Good morning. Appreciate everybody being here today. Pretty cool to see all the familiar faces in this room. Just want to start by thanking all the players. Hopefully you guys aren't missing class right now to be here. And then before we get into this, anything happened this last week around here? Any changes or anything? But in all seriousness, I want to start by acknowledging our leadership and administration, Chancellor Plowman, Danny White, our athletics director, Alicia Longworth, Marshall Seward, Tyler Johnson, Randy Boyd. This is one of the best universities in all of college sports, and I truly believe we have the best people leading us into the next phase of Tennessee baseball. I'm thankful for how this process played out as well. To be able to go through the interview process, to have to compete is the only thing I wanted to ask for, because I just wanted one more day with the guys that we had in the building. So I'm so thankful it played out in that way, and it's an honor and privilege to stand here as a new head coach of Tennessee baseball. The last few days have been a whirlwind, but the last 2 specifically, gratitude's been the main word. I'm so thankful for all the people that have made it possible. A lot of them are standing in this room or right in front of me right here. I do want to thank some former players. I could literally go 35 minutes on this, but Chris Burke has been above and beyond the last few days. Luke Hochhaver, again, one of the best human beings I've ever been around. Blake Burke, Drew Beam, Jordan Beck, Connor Pavoloni, Ricky Martinez. I could go on and on. Simo Gilbert. You guys are family to me, and you guys are the only reason I'm standing right here. And this program will always belong to you. So please come back. I can't wait to see you guys, and just love you guys from the bottom of my heart. To our current players, that moment last week going in the room when it was finally announced as being the head coach, I can really not even put it into words. It's something that I'll never forget the rest of my life. I can't wait to go to battle with you guys this spring, but I'm so impressed with the professionalism, how you guys handled the challenges of last week. To our future players, I appreciate you sticking with us last week. I know change can be hard, but this is an incredible opportunity. We have one of the best staffs in college baseball and some of the best people that do what they do. I can't wait for them to be able to coach you, and I can't wait to go to battle with you guys very, very, very soon. To our current staff, Frank the Tank, father figure, we all love you, undefeated as interim head coach in the SEC. It's a good start. Ross, my right-hand man, Q, family, always have been, known you since I was a kid. Ricky, Ren, Stove, Woody, Megan, Lowe, I could go on and on. You guys are the people that make this place great, and you make our players better every day. I can't wait to continue working with all of you. To my previous coaches, I'm going to start with Jim Schlossnagel, my collegiate head coach. I learned so much from you, discipline, habits, and standards, what it takes to win, but just to be selfless, have incredible energy, and seek excellence in everything that you do. I've always learned that from you, and I can't wait to share that with our players as well. To Dave Van Horn, for the invitation to the SEC to learn how to be a phenomenal head coach, but also be an amazing family man. That is something that will be a big part of the rest of my life as a coach, because I love these three little monsters right here in front of us. To Randy Mazey, Bill Mosiello, Todd Whitting, and Pat Loader, who's no longer with us, to learn the X's and O's from you guys. I can't wait to share that with the knowledge and the things that basically I had so much fun learning and getting better of the fundamentals and mastering those deals with our players. That will always be a part of any program that we're associated with moving forward. And then Tony V. A lot of ways I could go with this. But man, a lot of great memories, a lot of wins, a lot of running around on the road, a lot of dreaming to make this place something great. And I really believe our staff did that together. I'm so excited for you, man. I can't wait to see you win a World Series. But thank you for taking a chance on me and showing me what it means to leave your soul in the game. I hope our players always feel that way as well. To my parents, Robert and Chris, who are holding it down in Texas today, I love you. So grateful for all the time at the baseball field, for your firm and fair parenting, and an incredible example of what it means to have a loving marriage. To my brothers and sisters, Chase, Shannon, and Lauren, hope Texas is treating you well. Sorry for all the times we had to go to baseball fields in the summer, but I can't wait for y'all to see the new Lindsey Nelson Stadium this spring. And to my wife, Brittany, the best teammate I've ever had in my whole life. We always talked about making sacrifices with our children to show them that they could be part of something bigger than themselves. I know I've missed some stuff along the way. I can't wait for our kids to continue to experience the magic of Rocky Top. AJ, I love you guys. Changing gears a little bit. Sorry. We're here to keep this thing going. I know Coach Kiv is our Twitter monster, so follow his stuff, but we're going to keep this thing going. I love these people in this building. I love this roster. I mean, we talked about in the scrimmage yesterday, the crispness, the high-level prospects, the fundamentals. It's in the building right now. We don't have to hunt that down. I really believe in our recruiting classes and the people that are on the way, but we also have a great respect of this league and what winning requires in this league. We've been in here a long time now, and we're excited for the challenge that's to come. We're just going to continue to have great habits and processes to continue to improve. And for the players here, let's finish this fall well together. 3 expectations I have going forward, and this is nothing new for our players. We want to recruit and develop at the highest level. Objectively, we've done that better than any program since COVID. I'm excited for that to continue with the people in the room that make this possible. I want our guys to prepare like professionals and go compete like champions. I want them to be on the hunt. I want them to push the line between aggressive and reckless. And know regardless of how it plays out, that we'll have their back regardless. And I want them to crave competition. If you want to play in the SEC, you better love to compete. It's getting more, it's tough, the razor-thin margin of error. But our guys signed up because they want to be the best and they want to beat the best. And I can't wait to go to battle with you guys this spring. Duval Nation, the best fan base in all of college sports. I just can't get over all the years traveling, being in the airport, someone saying, hey, go Vols, as I got my backpack on a recruiting trip, or being on the beach in Mexico with my wife last year, someone says, hey, go Vols from across the way. to feel the power of the Power T and what the volunteer state means. I will never take that for granted. I'm so excited for our kids to open the new Lindsey Nelson Stadium, but also going to TBA and the softball games and Neyland Stadium. This is a one-of-a-kind fan base, and you guys make this place special, and we're really going to need you this spring. I can't wait to see you guys out there. And feel free to welcome the opposing teams in Knoxville the right way. In closing, 9 years ago I got this job. Tony called. I went on the road basically immediately, never went back to the place that I rented in Arkansas. Running around recruiting, doing a bunch of deals. But when I got here finally for our first visit, we were running a kid around, there was a welcome packet on my desk. Had a bunch of different things. But the main thing I took out of that, I just took some scissors and cut it out. It was a quote from Pat Summitt. It's been hanging in my office for 9 years, and it ain't going anywhere. That quote is, "Here's how I'm going to beat you. I'm going to outwork you. That's it. That's all there is to it." I cannot wait to see what our staff, players, and Vol Nation can accomplish together in the future. Thank you guys, and go Vols.
Questions now, please raise your hand and we will get a microphone to you. Eric, we'll start with you.
Josh, first and foremost, congratulations. Can you walk us through kind of what this last week was for you? I know it was kind of a whirlwind. And then when you got the news that you did get the job, kind of what were those emotions like?
Yeah, it was all over the place. I mean, the way it went down with Tony, again, we were so focused on the fall and getting better. I think we've always been trying to say what is essential and what is not, how we focused on what's important, and we're in a very important period of the fall right now. But the emotions were crazy, I think, for all the staff. I think we have a genuine rooted love for this university, and it was scary, just to be very honest with you. But I want to be crystal clear, we're all thrilled for Tony Vitello. What an amazing opportunity to do something that's never been done before. His fingerprints will always be on this program. But to be able to earn the job and to be able to walk in and see these guys and that moment I had with them, I'll never forget. But just really excited for the future, but honestly grateful and thankful, because when you're looking at, hey, maybe not being able to wear that Power T anymore, it's a pretty scary feeling, to be honest.
Congrats. What are the things that going through that interview process you wanted to impress upon that committee, and what were the things you felt like you were able to display that you can do as a head coach differently?
Right. Well, I think I just wanted to be myself. I reached out to some of my mentors in the game, and again, just wanted to be myself. I didn't want to try to push some crazy narrative or have the arrogance that I have to put my stamp on this program. This program will always be about the players, develop them the right way, but just really just highlighting the systems, whether it be the habits of the players we have, the recruiting relationships that we have, and how that can continue to just get better and better as we go with the people that are in this building.
Josh, congratulations. You mentioned in your remarks to the team when it was announced over the weekend that you all had the opportunity to put your own little stamp on the program going forward. What do you feel like that looks like, your own little stamp on what you all have built?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my focus has essentially been connecting with all the recruits, making sure they're in a good spot, taking care of our players and finishing the fall. Like, for me, it's, hey, how do we get through this period that we have that's a limited time based on the NCAA rules, and how do we get better? And I think big picture stuff we'll get with our staff, and I'll lean on them and administration. We just want a team to be able to communicate like champs across the board. That's our focus moving forward. But again, like any kind of notion I have to put my stamp on something like this now, this is an organic, sustainable culture that's been built over a long period of time, and we truly, truly believe in that. And the players are the ones who make that possible and hold those standards every day.
Josh, two things. What was the phone call like to your mom and dad? And then two, in talking to players and talking to your mom and dad, they talk about, you having kind of like this really dry, funny sense of humor that maybe people don't get to see because you got the helmet on and the beard, which no longer exists. Who is the man behind the beard?
I think I'm a father first in everything that I do. I love my family, but anybody that commits to play at Tennessee, there needs to be a trust that we'll take care of their kids, right? But who am I? I love the game of baseball. I love the intricacies of the X's and O's and the fundamentals and trying to dominate the average play, but also what works over the course of 56 and what winning requires in this league. It's not easy. I've made some mistakes, plenty of them, over the last 9 years in this league in recruiting or on the field, but I think puts us all in a better position moving forward. But again, this day is not about me. This is about this program and what we've accomplished, about these players. I can't wait for you to see my guy Blaine Brown go deep, or Henry Ford put a hole in the scoreboard yesterday, the next 100-mile-an-hour arm, it'll always be about these guys, and that's where Mom and Dad. Yeah, no, it's love my parents more than anything. Honestly, I've never expected the chaos on the phone. I wasn't ready for that. I'm going to make it a priority to get back with everybody as all this plays out. But my parents have just been so incredibly supportive. They were actually here this last weekend, help us hold down the fort with the little ones. So I'm just excited to share that moment with them. But they've always been so supportive, and I'm so thankful I wouldn't be standing here without them today.
How do you balance moving into a little bit more of a program running role while also leaning on the things that have made you a really good assistant coach?
That's a great question. I think I have to lean on my staff and lean on the administration for some help in this change. I'm not going to act like I have it all figured out immediately. In conversations I've had with recruits, I've been very adamant that I'm still planning on coaching third base, being in the cage, grinding with the guys on the hitting side, whether it be prep with Stovall and Ross and Ricky and how we go about this deal. Just told these guys, hey, anything big picture, let's just finish this fall at a high level. But with the staff, obviously, there's an open position. My focus is entirely right now on the staff that's standing right behind you, taking care of those guys. I've been flattered by how many people have reached out, but I'm going to lean on administration as well as our current staff because we have to protect the culture, and the timing of everything is very important. And I think also, too, with the recruits, I would like to loop them in with anything as well.
Coach, you mentioned Knoxville being a special place. Can you expand on that a little bit? What makes Knoxville and Rocky Top different than other college environments that you've been a part of?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about a ton of recruiting. It's got everything, right? You got the Smoky Mountains. If you want to go out on the lake, if you want to go to a quarry, you can go downtown, grab a bite to eat. So many good places to eat down here. That's probably one of my favorite things. But just to see the explosion and how much real estate has gone crazy here, but you have anything you could ever want within a 30-mile radius. But you also have the small town bubble of a college feel. Like on game day, this is the place to be in the state. But also, too, hey, if you want to go downtown, have a meal, or go out to the Smoky Mountains, it's just a good blend. No matter where kids are from, and we're going to take pride in recruiting kids coast to coast, you know, hey, they can come to the city and be like, hey, this is a little bit different. This place is special. And not only can I become the best baseball player in person possible, but I can have a great time living in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hey, Josh, congrats. Now that you said it's about the players, tell me your assessment of the baseball team that you're taking over as head coach.
Right. Just really excited. I think there's some firepower on the mound. I think we have a different bullpen than we did last year. Again, I think flamethrowers is something we've always kind of hunted down in recruiting, always been 100-mile-an-hour arms. But when V and Frank and I and Ross went into the portal this year, had to make some changes. We wanted just a little bit more balance, maybe some lefty specialists, some cutter guys, some different looks, whether it be different slots, whether it be IVB guys, running heaters, sinkers, cutters. We just want to be hard to prepare for. On the pitching side, I'm so excited about the youth, the transfers. I think there's a good balance. And the most exciting thing is it's up to them to figure out where they're going to pitch. That's not going to change. That's always been the deal, but excited for the pitching staff. And offensively, clearly I'm biased, as always, on that side of the ball, but really like this group. I think we're dynamic, very athletic, and very versatile. So I think trust is going to be a big word, and as we move these guys around a little bit and figure out what positions work best, how do we mix that with talking with Stovall, whether it be matchups and analytics, and how do we blend that in to how we attack each game. But also, too, just being real with the players. Make sure they understand, like, they know what's going on the decision-making side, and they feel like they're looped into the process. But I'm just excited for this group and really say, just get a little bit better each day, but I can't wait to go to war with them this spring.
Hey, Josh, back here. Congratulations, first and foremost. Have you had a chance to speak to Coach Vitello since you've been hired? What did he tell you, if so? And then when this whole thing started to become a possibility, what was that like? What was going through your mind as this process began?
Yeah, great question. Coach V's been amazing throughout this whole process. We FaceTime shortly after signed the contract. He was on a plane in Atlanta. It was just simple. We're so different, and we've worked together for so long, but it was just, hey, congratulations, love you. He's got things to do, and let's move on. So what's the next task is something we've talked about a ton with our players. That'll be a theme here as well. But, again, he took a chance on me. I'll never take that for granted. But I think right now it's, hey, he knows I'm focused on this group right here, but I know we'll link up again plenty of times over the next month, 2 months. But he's a lifelong friend and mentor, and I will never take what I learned from him for granted.
Josh, when you were going into that your interview with Danny and the committee and all those people, was there part of you that thought you kind of weren't just interviewing as yourself? You were sort of interviewing as all these players on this side of the room and all the staff on this side of the room? And if that was the case, did you talk to them ahead of time and say, hey, by the way, if I get this, you're staying, right?
Right. No, I think we just went in with a united front and a singular focus. The only avenue was I was going to go in there and prove that I was the guy for the job. That's really, and I put all my preparation into the interview process, but I just want to be authentic. That's it. I wanted to be comfortable in my own skin and throw my best punch. And if I wasn't the guy, then so be it. If Danny thought someone was better to lead this program, I would have 100% understood and supported him every single day. But again, there was some pressure, whatever, but again, I think this is a family here. We talk about it in recruiting, the real roots of all the time that we've spent together. That's not something we take for granted. So it was more so, hey, let's just go to battle one more time and see where the chips lie after that.
Time for a few more here. We'll go to Paige, Elijah, and we'll finish with Mike.
Congratulations. Obviously, the program has changed a ton since you all arrived on 2017. What would you say is the greatest lesson that you can carry with you from, the iconic lemonade stands with Tony to the $100 million renovations that you can carry into this new era?
Yeah, I think it's just attacking each day. We never really talked. It may sound crazy, like, hey, we got to win X amount of games or win this many championships. It was, do you have good habits and processes, and can you get buy-in from the players to get a little bit better each day? And then hold them accountable to being consistent over a long period of time. That's been our magic here. And then treating people right. Teach them how to be a pro. Teach them how to recover. Know that we have their backs, right? I think the family aspect is something that's thrown around a ton in recruiting, but I know these guys feel it, and then when recruits come in, it's authentic here. It's a little bit different, and we don't expect that to change.
I'm pretty sure this was the second no-brainer yes, besides marrying your wife when Danny offered you the job. But getting your players here and nobody, when usually you take a job, most people want to decommit or transfer things, like everybody's staying. How much is that at ease at you to know what you have put to the table as a recruiter and now being as a head coach?
Yeah, I mean, we take pride in our relationships when recruiting, right? Even when we get a kid committed, it's just the beginning of an incredible journey. So just to give you a story, we commit Jordan Beck when he's, we just got here, junior in high school. You get to watch him go play. You go through the draft. He ends up turning it down to come to school. You get to grind in the cage, see the guy compete, develop, become a first rounder, and then fast forward 2 years ago, my wife and I get to go see him play in Yankee Stadium with the Rockies. And then I texted the video to Q. Pretty crazy. He does Q's pregame band routine on the field right before the game. So to me, that's what it's all about, the relationships and taking care of each other. It really is. But this is the easiest no-brainer of all time. I love this place and just excited to continue this show with the guys.
Josh, I got two for you. Former players campaigning for you to get the job in those first 24, 36 hours. What did that mean to you? And what do you feel like you learned about your team last week in handling the situation with Tony?
Yeah, I just thought the team was incredibly professional last week. I mean, again, there was nobody asking V about it. We were just going through practice as normal, the most we could. But it was just so flattering. Honestly, it made me soft. I was emotional when I saw some of it. So I basically just tried to block it out, right, because I didn't want our guys at practice to think something was going on or they were being left out of something. So, again, the relationship with these guys standing here and the former players, that'll never change. I think that's going to be the root of what we all do here, but I'll never forget their support, and I'll never take that for granted.
Yeah, Josh, just on the staff side of things, is the plan basically to roll with what you have, and how do you maybe reallocate some positions or assignments to some of those people with the way it's structured?
Yeah, definitely going to lean on administration throughout this process, right? This is the first time I've ever done this, but my focus is to take care of the people in the building first, not worry about anything externally. I think we have some of the best people at what they do in their positions, so they need to be taken care of the right way, and that's my main and sole focus. And all the roots we have, I'm just excited because we want stability for these guys in the building moving forward.
We'll do a photo op here. My students, you have to move the podium real fast.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The press conference over at the University of Tennessee, introducing Josh Elander, who takes over for Tony Vitello. Time well spent. We'll talk about it on the other side, including Josh Heupel's press conference, which we're not going to take, for the Oklahoma game, which is on deck. But we will talk about what we just heard And then get into some calls and get into, this week. It's going to be very eventful. Mark Griffin later on in hour 2 as well, into our third hour. In the meantime, I do want to remind you on the way to the break, it is a huge week for us. We're going to be live. The entire Fan Run Radio team will be live down at Calhoun's on the River on Friday. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be phenomenal. Hour 2 on the radio after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Griffin Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Griffin Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Griffin Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Griffin Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Griffin.com. That's Griffin.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Griffin Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marco Scarza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Tony, be back with you, 865-200-5402. And, boy, it was a good decision to take that Elander press conference. I'm glad we did that. I'm glad Beanstar talked me into that because I was a little tuckered out from that whole baseball experience last week. But that was rather rejuvenating, if I could say so myself. That was rather rejuvenating. So I'm glad we did that. Bino the Great, your thoughts on what we witnessed there, and then we will go to the phones.
Tony, I try my best not to think a whole lot about press conferences one way or another because they have absolutely nothing to do with what's going to go on the field or in the building. But I couldn't help myself with that one. Saturday, when the announcement was made that Elander had been named the head coach, I was really, really happy. I was happy for him. I was happy for the players. I was happy for the fan base. After hearing that, I wasn't happy enough on Saturday. I'm absolutely elated that he's getting this opportunity because I have no doubt in my mind that he's the right guy. And he was just extremely impressive in that press conference.
We reported today over at tclub.team that they were inundated with players from past eras of Tennessee baseball. And didn't the head coach get up there and say that? he thanked all those guys for going to bat for him. UT's administration was blown away by the number of people that chimed in. And not only that, but high-level boosters that said, what are we doing? Because they got rung up from these past players that went to bat for him. And how did Elander put that, guys? He said something like, they had a game to win, or I don't know how he phrased it. But the way he phrased it was pretty interesting because, in essence, what he's saying there is, those guys are the reason I'm sitting here today. It was really interesting the way he phrased it. And I think that's pretty accurate, Bino. I think that's pretty accurate. Good for those guys.
He obviously has the backing and the faith of all of his baseball team.
Yep.
And all of the baseball community, basically.
Yep.
When those former players who, for them to step up for a guy that had been in the background, just basically speaks volumes about who he is and how impressive he is.
It only appears like he's been in the background, but I think behind the scenes he's been very prominent. And he's been a very important piece to the operation.
Well, no question.
He doesn't run and try to get the attention.
Yep.
And all that, but he's there and they know, he has a big presence.
As I wrote today on the blog, I look forward to many happy returns and having him on the show and being supportive of what they do, and the door's going to be open, and we look forward to getting to know him on the air as well. Obviously, Tony was so good at the media stuff, but after hearing this guy, all you've got to do with our fan base is just be yourself, because they want to love you. And if you make yourself available and you invite people, and I think this guy will get involved in the community. What I saw from him and then talking to people, because people were reaching out to me and they were like, hey, you got a really good at bat for him. I'm like, look, I got no stroke. And with the way I made people angry last week, if I come out for a guy, that's the last thing you need. So I encourage them to contact money people. If it's really what you want to see done, call the money people. The money people are the ones that move mountains around here, not talk radio. I've always been one that keeps my ear to the ground on those money people, because when the money people are about to do something, that's when it's going to happen. Because he who pays the fiddler calls the tune, ladies and gentlemen. And so with that in mind, Elander, to me, with that familial approach, they just did a thing right before they cut the YouTube video where he brought every kid up there that was there at that press conference, and it was like a ton of guys. And all the guys in his organization, and he shouted them all out. He shouted Woody out. He shouted Chris Lowe's son Adam out, who played baseball with my son Anthony growing up. Chris was a coach. Chris, a hell of a coach. Shout out Chris Cole and the Cools. But when he was talking about that family thing and his family and my dad and my kids, and then he brought his kids up, he shot 2 photos. He shot one with Danny White afterwards, and then he brought his girls up, and he shot a video with them. I mean, this guy's hard not to root for, is what he is, Bino. That's going to be really hard not to root for this guy.
Oh, yeah. He's absolutely salt of the earth. Earned it. Happy for him.
Yep. Been here 9 years, Beanstar. How many coaches stick around 9 years here?
Guys as talented as him, none.
That's a good point. You can see why so many people wanted to hire him after watching him today. Because he's had a glow up, which I'm for. And by the way, shout out to him for, because Bino learned the term today. Shout out to him for that Pat Summitt quote. I'm just going to outwork you. That's what we do. That's why we're up in the middle of the night doing our show. That's why I jumped on the other day, knowing I was going to be on in the middle of the night. That's what we do here. I'm just going to outwork you, man.
Every coach that's hired is smart to invoke a Pat Summitt reference in their opening press conference.
That's why Brian Hartman and Alex were on the air last night. We're just going to outwork you. We're just going to invest in it. We're just going to do it, man.
That's one that'll never be hanging in my room.
That's why we're all going to be live, and they're bringing the big box down to give it away at Calhoun's. We're just going to outwork you, man. You're just going to get outworked. You're going to get worked and outworked. That's why when I turned over to William Pattison, he's going to get it done today. We're going to outwork you, and you're going to get worked. Say huh, Bino?
I said that's one that'll never be hanging in my office.
That's right. Now, one thing about the guy, and then we'll go to the phones, is he's going to be the third base coach. And I hope he's better than the guy who's been the third base coach during the Vitello era. Because that guy has gotten on my nerves. Here we go. That guy has gotten on my nerves at times, Bino.
Here we go.
You think
that didn't take long.
You think he's going to like it, Beanstar? You think he's going to like
I don't
for some of his sins? Because I'm going to ask him that. When he comes on the show, I'm going to say, Josh, we have a guy here. His name is Bino Jeff Henderson, and he says you should never make the last out at third base or the first out at third base. And his problem with you is you've done that frequently. Now, when I say that to him, will I be quoting that properly, Bino Jeff Henderson?
You will be. No, I'm not a proponent of that, Tony. I'm not a proponent of.
Not a proponent of me asking that, or not a proponent of the way they do that. Which one, Bino?
Both.
Huh? If you're not a proponent of them doing it, Bino, I got to get your vote in there, man.
No, you don't have to get my vote in there.
Volpet said, Bino just made me laugh so hard that I spit my lunch out. Classic line.
What you need to do is ask him if he's a better meteorologist than his predecessor.
Beach Bum says, I thought the same, Tony. We're going to have the Corbin third base move. Well, the difference is going to be, look, I'm not trying to be glib here, okay? Tim Corbin in his third base oversized helmet that he wears on third base looks a lot like Aaron Rodgers in those throwback Pittsburgh uniforms that they had on. Aaron Rodgers looked like what you would picture if a Gestapo was out there playing football. A German Gestapo was out there playing American football back in the day. That was the dumbest looking uniform. And let me tell you something. There have been some stupid ass uniforms these NFL teams put on for whatever reason. Bino, that helmet the Steelers wore last night was an affront to humanity, I thought.
Tony, our buddy and listener Gary's a big Steeler fan.
Yeah.
And I told him last night during the game, that's what I picture the uniform looking like for like the 1957 Brushy Mountain football team.
That's exactly right. I texted a friend of ours, a co-friend of ours. Actually, I called him Lambrito. And he goes, what do you want from me? Pile on. I told you they were ugly. What do you want from me? F you. F you. And then he hung up on me. Which I guess was the reaction I was looking for. All right, let's go to the phones.
Pittsburgh has the Steelers.
I am so happy that they did the right thing, Spike Lee. Colors. They did the right thing. And to me, it doesn't matter how you arrive at the right thing, like Bino said in the first hour. As long as you do the right thing, it's cool with me. It is cool with me. So great job, Danny White. Let's go to the phones. Happy trails to... All right, just so we set the board here before we go this hour. There is going to be a bidding war for Lane Kiffin. That's going to happen. Florida and LSU are going to fight over him. Here's Lane Kiffin, Bino, in the last hiring cycle, couldn't get a job.
Yeah.
We're about to see a bidding war for him. Couldn't get a job, Bino. Couldn't get out of there.
No, and either one of them will be lucky to have him.
Oh, he's going.
And if I'm him, I'm taking that LSU gig.
Hell yeah. That LSU job is a much better job than that Florida job. And Brian Kelly, Bino, who's a total horse's ass, okay?
Yeah.
Puts his head on the pillow tonight, and I want you to finish your thought, but he puts his head on the pillow knowing Ed Ogeron, who grunts when he speaks, and the Mad Hatter, who literally looked like he looked like a guy when he put that hat on, a demonstration in a middle school sex education class. That's how tight his hat was.
It was the exact opposite of your hat that Tony V gave you, Tony.
Well, Tony V thinks I'm Aaron Rodgers. How in the world, Beanstar, could those guys do something? And Brian Kelly never got a sniff at it at LSU, Bino. Never got a... Did he ever make the playoffs, Brian? Brian, did he ever make the playoffs?
No.
He never got a sniff.
No, he didn't.
He never got a sniff at it. Go ahead, Bino. I'm sorry.
No, that's good, Tony. That's good. We've talked to where the college football's become like the NFL, and now you can say in a lot of instances any given Saturday rather than Sunday. I tell you one thing: in a year when James Franklin and Brian Kelly both get fired midstream, it's NFL not for long too in college football
and
now,
and it's going to get worse. And I'll tell you what's going to be crazy. We talked about this several weeks ago in the blog. That chain of events, me and C were speculating all these jobs are going to open, and people thought, well, no way, all those jobs. They're all going to open, and you wait for that 10-day free agency period and the frenzy that's already going on. If Tennessee's doing their due diligence, and I hope they are, because I can promise you other teams are, you better be contacting kids off that Florida roster, that LSU roster, that Penn State roster, and on, and pick them apart like a carcass, Bino, and get some defensive players in here. Can I get an amen? Get some linebackers in here.
Get that Dallas Wilson guy from Florida.
Amen. Let's go to the phones.
Yeah. Hey, and if we take care of business Saturday, Oklahoma's going to open too.
That's exactly right. The Vols beat Oklahoma Saturday. It is bye-bye fake Ted Nugent. Wango Tango to you, my friend.
And get him in here with some players.
Well, that came up on the post game. Do you think, Bino, that our guy has the stomach to fire Tim Banks?
Tony, I personally do not, but I hope he finds it because just look what's going on. I'm not talking about Tim Banks specifically.
Right.
I'm talking about going forward, having the stomach to construct the best possible staff that you can construct. Because if you don't, eventually it's you.
That's what's going to happen in all these spots. And the clock's been sped up. All right, so we're going to go to the phones. 865-200-5402. We'll get as many calls in as we can. Marky Boy Griffin is going to join us. So let's keep our calls to like 2 minutes here, and we'll get as many people in as we can. And we'll start things off with our first call. You're on the air. Hi.
Hey, guys. Dave.
Hey, Dave. Welcome in.
I think last night, I know it's just one game.
Actually, it was a practice.
But we don't
it wasn't
have
a game.
a two-guard.
It was a practice.
We spent $4 million on Nate Emmett.
Ament.
And this guy is going to looks like a very low efficient player, like all freshmen are normally, except for that kid who played at Duke last night. And you could have spent less than $4 million and got a proven two guard that played next to our point guard. And that's going to be a big mistake going forward.
Well, we
don't have a two guard on our roster.
It wasn't for lack of trying. The McNeely kid from Virginia they had him basically committed, and they had agreed to terms with him, and we didn't have his major. And they didn't realize that was going to be a hang-up, but that's what happened there. And that spun Tennessee into a kind of a cycle where they swung and missed on a couple different guys. And look, Amari Abrams, the guy they want to win the job, but they used last night's game. They used the fact that they were not guarding last week at the 2-guard and at the perimeter at all against Ohio State to send a message to him on national television. That's what that was. Because Bishop Boswell, Dave, is not their 2-guard. That was Rick Barnes doing bits last night, playing him 24 minutes. And Mark Griffin is going to be in here in about 20 minutes, and he will corroborate that when he comes in here. I can promise you that. This narrative that you've been spouting back in the spring that Bishop Boswell is going to, he is not the 2-guard here, Dave. They had fun with it last night. I know you said that on the post-game show last night. He is not the 2-guard, Dave. And I will bet you anything. I'll bet you anything, Dave. We get to league play. Bishop Boswell will be playing 3 or 4 minutes a night, Dave. So you can put that to rest right now.
I bet you Bishop Boswell.
You can put it to rest right now, Dave. Put it to rest. Stop. You know better than that.
Okay, let's get to football. If the Oklahoma coach comes in here and beats our coach, and our coach goes 7-5, we'll be looking for another coach, and that's the way it is today. Y'all have a good day.
How about that, Bino? It's a good thing Dave was the first caller on a rainy day here in East Tennessee because he makes you feel so much.
Change the subject and then bye-bye.
He makes you feel so much better about yourself. Hey, Dave, when we get to league play, Bishop Boswell will be playing about 4 minutes a night, if that, and you need to peace out on that line of reasoning you have because it's unreasonable. Welcome into the show. You're on the air.
Tony, that call is worthy of a suspension, in my humble opinion, but you're the dean, and I'll defer to you.
I find him
Tony,
mildly amusing. Go ahead.
Bino, Brian, I want to apologize because I frankly thought that Coach Elander, I wasn't 100% convinced he was the right person or he was ready for the job, and I'm embarrassed to admit that because after seeing two things, the players' reaction when Danny White announced that Elander was the new head coach on Saturday was unbelievable. The players, obviously, the outreach, the support that we saw today. In his press conference, the guy hit not a home run, he hit a grand slam. And it's not about winning the press conference, but Tony, I didn't know that he had that ability to be in front of the camera and reach the media because, let's face it, that's a big part of that head coaching responsibility. It's not just reaching the media. It's taking advantage of those in the limelight, in the spotlight moments to engage with fans, to reach fans, and frankly, recruits and the families of recruits. And when you've got that spotlight, that's a great opportunity. I know Tony Vitello set the bar very high for that, but I question if Elander had the had the experience or had even the desire to be in the limelight. He obviously proved that, and it makes sense because it was incongruent with the thought process of he is an outstanding recruiter. I've never seen a coach that former players universally love as much as Elander. He is an absolute home run hire, Tony. I am so proud of the university for making the right decision. That guy is as genuine as they come. He's a family man. He's beloved. He's going to carry the torch, Tony, and it's going to be a sight to see on Rocky Top. I appreciate all your coverage, GBO.
Thank you. And the thing that he said that I loved, Bino, that stays with me is I've talked to people and they said, be yourself. He said during that interview, I just went in there and I was myself, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. And if I try to be something I'm not, I will not be. And I thought, you know what? That is a great thing to say to the press. And then he also said, in my 9 years here, this place is skyrocketing in terms of the things that are happening in our local community. And housing prices are going through the roof because people are fighting over themselves to get into our community. He said, who can't recruit to that? I thought it was an excellent job by him today. Excellent job, Josh Elander.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Tony. And although I was convinced early on that he was the right guy, like Taylor, I'm stunned that he's as polished as he is in that setting. And I don't even rewatch games, but my intention is later on today to revisit that press conference.
Back to the phones we go. Yeah, I'm extremely proud of the job that Josh Elander just got up there and did, and I do know that those former players fought like hell for him. They shouted out Chris Burke. Chris Burke fought. People thought Chris Burke won the job. Berkey told me, he said, there's one hire for that job, and he's sitting there already. And he let it be known. I love Chris Burke. He loves his alma mater. I love me some Chris Burke. He cares enough to make phone calls. Right on, Berkey. Go back to our phones. Hello and welcome into our next call on your TLD Logistics phone lines. We'll do a TLD Logistics Overdrive overtime today, no doubt. The great Mark Griffin will be in here with us. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Hey, everybody. How are y'all doing?
Hey, Leslie in Maury County. Welcome in.
That's right. Hey, it's Murray County, but that's all right, Tony.
I'm doing that for Brian. I'm doing that for Brian's. That's for Brian's pleasure.
Hey, listen, we were at the game. I have a story to tell if you want to hear it.
We always love your stories. Spin a yarn for us.
All right. Okay, so it was a lot of fun. That was we're still on our quest, to visit all the stadiums. That was my first time to go Krogering, and it was fun. We were seated at just a few rows up in the end zone. I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 rows up, where most of the scores happened for the Tennessee Volunteers. So that was fun, including the pick six. So anyway, but the story is, after the game, we were walking back to our vehicle, and we went through this area, which I will say, this area, I wish we had something like it, but it's a huge parking lot, campers galore, and there were a few campers left, and we were not engaging with these people or anything, and the next thing we know, a man, at least in the same decade as you and I in age, pulled his pants down and mooned us. So,
what?
Yes, I'm telling the truth, Tony. And there were four, what I assume to be Tennessee students who were walking just a few steps behind us. And if that wasn't enough, as they got closer, he did it again. And the best part is, there were some people in the camper. It was a motor home, with the big window, the driving camper. There were some people inside it also in orange. We saw a lot of crossover families, yes, including the engagement, or, that the proposal with the couple that was blue and orange. But anyway, I don't get it, but hey, what do I know? But yeah, he mooned us and he mooned them, and it was very bizarre because there were women, including young women, in the camper that, as Charlie pointed out, I know I got his name in, but as he said, I'm pretty sure they saw the other side. And but my favorite part was
the other side of what? Oh, his anatomy. So he didn't do the moon. He didn't do the moon thing that I saw Bino do one time on the softball field, where you just casually pull your pants down. He did the thing where he dropped his drawers.
Yes, he had on shorts, and he pulled. I mean, there was not anything left to the imagination. Thankfully, we got the backside. But one of the UT students who they were a step behind us, and they commented on his advanced age and what the people probably saw on the other side, which we all got hysterical about. But yeah, that was interesting. Then when we got back to the car, they had pulled up my windshield wipers and done stuff to the mirrors and spit loogies and stuff all over the car. But that was no permanent damage. I mean, we weren't really that upset about it because they turned our magnets upside down, which Charlie had to take the magnet off. But I have a plate on the front, big orange, with a white T in the middle. So, anyway, but I mean, that was kind of harmless. They did not do any permanent damage. So we didn't, I wasn't upset about that. But the mooning was next level, I got to admit.
Bino, that's what I love about
that
Leslie.
Was the first.
Leslie's not afraid to mix it up. It ain't the first rear end you've seen, Leslie. You've been around the block a time or two. Hey, Bino, from your perspective, Beanstar, what's the craziest thing a visiting fan, or when you've gone on the road, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen, Beanstar, or somebody's done to you?
Well, Tony, it's not really fair for me to judge sites anymore because it's been almost a quarter of a century since I traveled regularly. But other than Florida, Kentucky was always the worst place that Freddie and I ever went. We had one trip up there, and Freddie, I met him up there on this one. This was one that Sheeno actually went on, and a couple that we knew. And Sheeno's dad had a van, and it had running boards on the side of it. So we took it up there. And we beat them as usual. And as we're leaving, I can't even remember the year, as we're leaving the parking lot, a drunk Kentucky fan jumps up on the running board and is trying to tear the orange flag out of. I'm sitting on the passenger side. Sheeno always drives. I'm sitting on the passenger side. He's trying to tear the flag out of the window as the vehicle is slowly moving. And I said, do you see this guy here? And so the only thing I did was I just kind of opened the door and boom, I bumped him off of the running board down into a ditch as we were basically leaving the parking lot.
Leslie, you see that? Maybe that's the guy. Describe, Leslie, this man that showed
it's the Fight Club Clay guy that he punched.
Describe this man's appearance, and let's see if he matches up with either Bino or the guy Fight Club Clay beat into oblivion Newton-John. Go ahead.
I mean, it could be him. He had hair. It was silver.
Okay.
He was maybe average height. I don't know. He was inside this camper. So
was his butt?
He also gave us the middle finger salute as well. So.
Was his butt big or skinny like mine?
Now, Tony, I didn't take that good of a look at it. But, he looked pretty physically fit for his age.
Well, maybe he just wanted to show off, He was
maybe.
He was doing squats that week at the gym.
But that was the first for us at a visiting school. The fans around us, which was 90% orange, were a lot of fun. But there were a few blue people mixed in. They were not having fun.
It was a Leslie, thank you. It was a takeover.
Hey, I got another quick story from inside the stadium.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, because I violated my 2-minute rule for you.
I know I got to make it quick, but some students came down. I assume they were student age, and one they were wearing blue shirts and stuff. They all ripped them off at the beginning of the fourth quarter when they thought, I guess, they had a little life left. Their team did, and one of them proceeded to pick up beer cans off the ground and pour what was left in them down his pants. I'm not kidding. And they were escorted out by the friendly law enforcement people. So
sounds like
anyway, that's all I got, Tony.
The fans there had a much better performance than Kentucky's defense. I'll say that. That gentleman there, I mean, you could have put him like at, I don't know, linebacker for Kentucky the other night, and probably, you throw a pass out in the flat, Bino, he pulls his pants down while you're running on the way by him. I mean, it's kind of 6 half and a dozen of the other, whatever that saying is.
Yeah, I saw a shot of the stadium.
Yeah,
with about 10 minutes left in the game, and it looked like they'd escorted all of them out.
Back to the phones we go. Yeah. You know what escorts the fans out? When you hold them on their first 2 drives and you score on the first 2 drives and they're sitting there going, well, last week's Texas game ain't going to happen, because that thing devolved rather quickly. And if our defense could play a lick, Beanstar, we would have beaten them like 70-10, which is what it should have been. But we'll come back on the other side after this.
Get Severe on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy, That's you.
Wow, I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Tony B back with you as we're live with you on this Monday. Rice fan. Pretty outstanding. We'll do some TLD Logistics Overdrive overtime. The great Marky boy Griffin will be in the house. It's going to be unbelievable, Andy. And yeah, Griff, just come on in, man. Just come on in when you get here, brother. Take your time. In the meantime, we go back to our phones on a day where Josh Elander. Brian, give me something from our head football coach as we go here, because he's met the depressed. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Tony? Who's your ball runner?
There he is, the man of the hour.
Negative, but I don't know if you're aware of this. Now, some say it's an urban legend, but Larry Bird said it happened. Chris Webber and a college all-star team in a scrimmage beat the Dream Team.
There you go.
So let's just relax a tad.
Hey, negative.
I mean, it's one thing to complain about games that count, but to complain about ones that don't, you might need to go see a shrink. No offense, buddy.
Negative's in full freak-out mode, man, over a preseason game that happened in October.
Well, Dream Team lost to Chris Webber, if it's to be believed.
Let's go.
Bino, Tone, you remember our little prop bet of over-under, 20-yard completions by Kentucky, the Eric King stat? I quit counting at halftime, but what do you reckon we got to, about 8? And still won by 30. My goodness.
Tell you one thing, man, defense is optional with us. It is just optional. It's kind of sad, really.
It's very unusual, and I know you don't want to compare things too much, but Ole Miss, that has a phenomenal offense, I believe scored 35-ish, give or take, on Kentucky. So we score 56 and could have easily scored 60-something. But Ole Miss also held them to like 20 points, and their defense is really bad. So I don't know. This team is what it is. Tone,
Ryan, I was thinking this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was thinking as I watched that the other day. I mean, it's rare when I'm accurate when I try to look at our team and what it's going to be like going into the season, but I don't think I've ever been as dead wrong on the two units as I thought coming into this year that the defense would have to carry us for a while before our offense got going. And it's been day and night different from what I thought it was going to be.
Well, Bino,
to be fair,
yeah, they were telling
if
us
you lost your two best corners, that's going to
right.
hurt anybody. But that's not an excuse for what you saw last couple games.
Their problem is,
and we're still better at corner than we are at safety.
Well,
I know the safety is
two corners.
It's the safeties and the linebackers are the problem on that football team. Those linebackers and poor Boo Carter. You know what he needs to do next year is skip the spring and the summer. He's really a great player. He doesn't need any of that work, obviously.
Skip the fall too, Boo.
Because somebody had a great line the other night that was at the game. The first caller of the Garzalaw fifth quarter fan reaction had a great call when he said about Boo Carter. He said, "You know what this guy is? He's a highly paid, fair catcher of punts. He's a highly paid, fair catcher of punts. That's what he is, and that's
Boo
what he
Carter,
is."
He needs to skip on down to Lee College. That's what he needs to do.
I mean, Bino, no offense to him, but if you're gonna do that and skip the summer and do all that stuff, you better be a damn baller.
Yeah, average.
You better be a damn baller, man.
Now, Tone, I haven't got to watch him. So you're mentioning, because I'm worried with Colton Hood may or may not be able to go. Maybe he'll get some of those funny vitamins and be able to tough it out. Tell me about this Mateer. Has he got a broken arm? How much can a man with a broken arm get on our defense? We could do an Eric Kane prop bet there.
Hey, Bino,
200 yards.
Bino, what are you saying for Mateer after watching him over the weekend?
Yeah, he's not. They've done that kid a disservice. They put him back in there before he was ready, and he's got no protection up front.
Yep.
I think as bad as our defense is, I think our front can dominate defensively. Now, they may throw it straight up in the air and somebody be standing all by themselves.
Yeah, and the wounded thing continues because on Colton Hood, who is gimpy, as I was told, Josh Heupel said the following. Go ahead, Bino. You know what Josh Heupel said. Stay tuned to the injury report. Thank you.
The report comes out on Wednesday.
Heupel, I'll tell you one thing about Heupel. He cooperates with the media.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think? Will it take 31 or 37 for us to win? What's our offense got to get
this week? 28, you win.
Yeah. How much?
28 and you win.
Oh, I like those odds.
Oklahoma
When's the last
can't
time
play.
they didn't score 30 in Neyland Stadium in a SEC game?
Have we given up
That's
30?
a Brian Hartman stat, but that's been a while.
Brian, I noticed that because I was laughing with a friend of mine today. I said, you know what? Ole Miss's defense, everybody wants this Lane Kiffin guy to be their coach, and they're going to fight over him, and that's fine. Their defense this year, they don't play at all. He said, Tony, in SEC play, we're worse than they are. I said, there's no way that's true. I looked it up. They're like 12, and we're like 14. We're down there with Arkansas, Bino. We're worse than they are, Beanstar. How's that possible, Bino?
We've given up 31 points in every SEC game so far.
What in the world?
Through 5.
I thought y'all were kidding with that.
Well,
Arkansas is the only team that didn't get more than 31.
Thank you, my brother. Good talking to you.
Yeah.
You could be the man,
Thanks, Ryan.
brother. You could be the man.
Go Colts.
What is it?
Go Colts.
Don't mar the show with that crap.
All right.
I mean, come on, B now. 865-200-5402. Mark Griffin's in the mix and in the hunt with us here. Griff, how you doing, brother?
Great, Tony. Thanks for having me. Got a little cold getting over. I know you get sick a lot, and I've been under the weather a little bit, but really glad to be here, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Are you fired up for the Arkansas game?
The Arkansas
I mean, the Oklahoma game.
Tony, I will be in attendance.
Let's go, babe.
39 degrees, I hear. It's going to be cold, but it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to going.
Griff, you're going to join us. We'll get a few more calls in, but you've seen a ton of this basketball team. Negadave's already overreacting. Negedave thinks Bishop Boswell is our starting 2 guard, Mark.
Oh gosh.
Do you believe that?
No, not at all.
What was? Walk us through, because you've been through this. Walk us through what Barnesy was doing last night with the lineup and some of these combinations, and what was he doing?
Well, as you like to always say, no disrespect to Boswell. I mean, the kid is a gutsy player. I saw him play for in the travel circuit with Adidas years ago, and plays really hard. And he's Coach Barnes' whipping boy. And Tony, I'm able to go over to a lot of practices, as you know, probably seen more practices than probably most anyone outside of media. I've been very fortunate to get invited to watch, and sometimes I invite myself. He's a very coachable kid. I think that he's very limited offensively, and he did a good job defensively. But I think that what the bigger picture in him starting was sending a picture. You may have talked about this already, Tony. But
no, not. I waited for you to get here.
You're sending a notice to other guards that you've got to step up defensively, or he's going to look at an option to play someone ahead of you. And even if Boswell's a little bit restricted offensively, he plays so hard defensively. And I'm not sure who he's sending the message out to, but I would say probably isn't anyone who has a chance to play, and that's what we're trying to figure out, the rotation. This has been happening for years, Tony, where you'll get programs. Coach DeVoe used to start walk-ons ahead of scholarship players, and it's to really piss off your players that are ahead of them in the lineup.
I was talking to somebody about this deal last night. As Griff's now on camera, those of you that we got the split screen here going, those of you watching on YouTube, Griff's like, wow, he's tripping his brain out. The reality of what last night was is that, sure, Duke came in, and I told Griff in the park, I said, hey, they're going to do a bit with Boswell, and he laughed.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, I mean, a lot of people are going to go to a game expecting to really kind of win a game and compete in a game and this, that, and the other. And what they got was what you get in a lot of these cases, Griff. What they got was a guy that last night said, I'm going to use this opportunity to get my kids' attention, where it's not about winning a game. My career is so long. And I think that when Barnes first got here, I'm convinced that John Calipari in one of those Kentucky games threw a game away on purpose.
See, I disagree with you, Tony.
I know that, but in order to get the attention of his kids.
Yeah.
I think these guys do that from time to time. Prove a point.
But see, I disagree. I think when you are at any level, it could be elementary school. Why would you ever throw a game? You could say, well, we learned from a loss. Well, you can learn from a win. I think you compete to win. No one wants to lose.
Yeah.
I do think you will make substitutions to send a message that if you're not giving the effort, hey, I will sacrifice some possessions.
Yeah.
But they're not. I don't think anyone's going to sacrifice a game, Tony. I've never been in that situation. Maybe you have up in Philly, but not. I've never ever experienced that.
Let's go.
Not at all.
What'd you think, Bino, of Griff shutting me down there? In your humble opinion, are you for that or against that?
I'm for that. I appreciate Mark doing it, and I didn't figure Mark's voice could ever get any more distinguished, but I think with this little cold, it has somehow.
Jaden Perlotti is fast, violent, and has made some plays. I like that Perlotti guy. Here's the thing about him: let him play. You suck on defense. He doesn't know what he's doing, but you got 3- and 4-year guys there that don't know what they're doing. So just let the young kid that can kind of run around and hit some people. Bino, can I get an amen from the gallery?
Amen.
Can I get an amen for amen?
I like how Negative is already saying that amen is going to be one of these freshmen that's going to be not very good, a work in progress. You've seen a bunch of them in practice. I'm going to ask Mark about that on the other side. We're also going to unpack a lot of things, get some calls in. We're going to mix it all up next hour. Griff knows this is what we call football season.
Yes.
We introduced a baseball coach today, which is extremely exciting. Griff got to see me yesterday in the park on like 3.5 hours sleep. I was out there walking. I got 10,000 steps in, Griff, with
Beautiful.
my guitar. And Griff, describe to people what I look like in 30 seconds with my guitar, with my speaker clipped to me, playing music.
You look like someone who is exercising, should
Yes.
not approach to ask for directions. For sure. Yes.
I have people look at me like, well, they'll see me and they'll walk like way as far away from me. I feel like a snake out there.
Well, you got your
People
jam box going.
Yeah, that's
your
right.
Little micro box with 80s music strumming.
That's right.
And
That's right.
You're getting attention if you want it or not.
Well, I'm not trying to get attention. I try to stay away from people, but
I hear you.
You know what I mean? I'm just out there getting a nice. I love it out there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's incredible. Best part of our city.
It's like Hogman in the park, Tony.
Oh gosh,
Hogman in the park. The playbook with William Pattison on the way next. We'll stay here and kick it around in our little world. In the meantime, we love you. Peace. GBO. Congratulations, Josh Elander. Congratulations, Danny White. Here we go.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
All right, Griff, before we go back to the phones, what do you draw from what we saw last night?
Well, to start with, Tony, it's interesting. I entered what I still call Thompson Bowling Arena.
Me too.
And
it's a TBA.
The first thing I asked for was a program. Now, if Danny White wants to milk the public, he needs to make sure we have game programs because of the new roster, and this is going to happen every year. It's going to take all of us fans a little time to get used to the new players that are coming in.
Yep.
And it made me think of what Coach Barnes and his staff are going through when you have such a high turnover in players. And it's all over the country, so this is not new.
Yep.
But when you look at the timing and having a program like Duke to come in and play at such a great crowd, great environment, 20-something NBA teams were represented last night in attendance. The Ament versus Boozer matchup, top 5 players next year in the draft, and Ament will be there. It's just great for the program, and I think you can really learn a lot about your team early. I reflected, and some of us old school guys that played, when you had a preseason game, we used to play athletes in action. I mean, you had guys that hadn't played in 4 or 5 years, Tony. So to really gain something out of an exhibition game, they'll break down film, see what they did well, what they didn't, looking at a lot of different matchups. A lot of guys got to play last night. It's just early, but I think it's just what can you gain moving forward? And I think it's also from the player standpoint a great break because they've been practicing so long against each other. They know their tendencies. Used to be everyone started October 15th. And now you got summer workouts, fall workouts, so many hours per week that you're allowed to work out or you're supposed to work out. So, you're together a lot. So it's really good to go up against guys that you're familiar with. These guys all played against each other or heard about each other when they were in high school. And just kind of see where you are right now.
I was told last night, Griff, they were furious with their defense against Ohio State at the perimeter. And he wanted to prove a point to those. I told you that in the park. And
Yes.
He wanted to prove a point to those 2 guards. And when you put Bishop Boswell out there for 24 minutes, I would say message received.
No doubt. And I'll go out on a limb today, Tony. I've like I said, I've watched several practices. I watched UT before Berg came over. And then I've seen the team with Berg here. I'm going to go as far, and I could be wrong. That's why I'm a fan like everybody.
Yeah.
I think this season Tennessee goes as far as how much he develops defensively. He is really good at driving the basket. He really looks to create his own shot.
The Israeli national.
And I like him being a little more selfish. The problem, and you know this, and your listeners know this, if you don't play Barnes' style of defense, you're not going to see the floor.
That's exactly right.
So one of the messages for with the gentleman Boswell playing had to be sent to Berg as well.
Yeah.
And it's a huge transition from playing in Europe, where, let's just say in Israel, the focus is not how well you defend. It's creating shots up and down the court, fast break. So this is going to be a big transition for him. But I've watched him really closely the last 2 practices, and he is just practically staring at Barnes when he is correcting him in his errors, and I think he's really picking up a lot. But it is a big transition. He will only get better. One of the reasons why I think he's a key is you're able to free up Gillespie. I'll probably butcher his name all year. Yeah, I never do get it right. You'll be able to free him up to wander more as a 2 guard. Now, he's great on the offensive end as far as a point guard, but you can free him up as a shooter with Berg in there, or you can switch them. You could have Gillespie at the point and Berg at the 2. That's a great combination, and we didn't see a lot of that last night.
Yeah.
But I think you will see a lot of that, especially, I hope, getting into the SEC, because Berg can really fill it up. He really can. And I'm not expecting him to average 15 points a game, but one of my concerns for this team this season, I'm sure you've talked about, is lack of consistent 3-point shooting. If you go down their roster, who do you have when Barnes looks down that sideline and go, I need someone to come in and knock down shots? They're playing zone. Who am I going to bring in? Or they're overplaying Ament. And everyone who plays against Tennessee is going to focus on Ament, and they're going to try to bruise him as much as they can anytime he comes through the lane. Who is going to be your secondary or third option other than those 2 players? And I foresee it to be Berg on the perimeter.
To the phones we go, 865-200-5402. Bino, do you have anything for Griff before I go to the phones? Bino. Bino, are you there? What happened to Bino?
I'm sorry, Tony. Yes, I do. I couldn't get myself unmuted. Mark, when I looked at Nate Ament last night, I saw an extremely talented player. Tell me if you think that this diagnosis is correct. I think that's a kid last night that was trying too hard to make a first impression, forcing some things. And he's got a guy on the other side that's just a man-child that's having a monster game, that all of a sudden he even more pressure's on him there. I think he's going to be a really good player for Tennessee.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, Bino. And that happens. You understand. Excuse me. I mean, it's his first game in the arena, spotlight. Yeah, he's been through a lot. He's been very successful coming out of Virginia. Team loaded, travel ball for Adidas. I saw him play several times in Rock Hill, South Carolina a couple years ago. I was so excited for UT to even sign him. One thing for fans, excuse me, is he's the type of kid that you're going to watch, and I don't think you're even going to be able to appreciate how athletic he really is, because he makes things look so easy, and he's going to get compared to Kevin Durant the rest of his life. And that's fine. That's a great comparison. I think he pressed as well. I think that was obvious on how and for me, one of the key measurements for that was when he went to the free throw line at the beginning of the game and missed a couple free throws. Yeah. I thought, oh, okay, if you start off missing free throws in your backyard, not a good sign. Yeah. And he's a good free throw shooter. So he did press. Is that understandable? Yes. Is that forgiven? Yes. Will he get better? Yes. In the season, we'll probably laugh about what happened last night because he's human. What I love to see And I know, Tony, you'll get a kick out of this. I love to see him taking 19 shots. Yeah, he was 5 of 19. So what? He's going to have to get 17 to 20 shots a game for this Tennessee team to go anywhere in the SEC.
That's why they got him.
He just has to.
That's why they're paying him.
That's why they're paying him, and that's why he's here. But that's why Tennessee's ranked the way they are. That's why the fans are excited for postseason play.
Yep.
And it's because of guys like him. I think he's the best player that obviously the best player Barnes has brought in here. Period.
Hey, Mark, are they ranked too low, do you think? Or is that probably good for them not to come in ranked so high?
Great question. I think they're ranked about where they should be at this time. Just like you look at Duke and you go, well, are they a number 6 team or are they a Final Four team? It's really hard. Preseason's so difficult to measure, but you have to have a starting point. We talk about it so much in football when you looked at the Penn States of the world and other programs that started off so well and then just disappear. It happens in basketball as well, and I think it's harder than ever to really get a great grasp of preseason rankings because you're mixing so many more people into the chemistry of putting a team together. It's not like in the old days, and I hate to keep doing that, but it's true. We'd have 3 seniors graduate. You replace them with 3 freshmen. You've got guys that are coming up through the program that have, contributed, but then now they're asked to take a leadership role. Those days are over.
Yep.
We're just got to get used to it, period.
It's travel ball now.
It's travel ball. And what is travel ball? If you're not happy, you go somewhere else.
Glorified travel ball.
And I hate it. I hate that part.
Hey, the Amari Evans, is that the kid's name?
Yeah.
He's been on 5 teams now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
this bed's too warm. This bed's too soft.
Well, no, you're talking about
who's the kid? Speaking of, it wasn't Evans.
The kid came from La Tech.
Amari Abram. There's 2 Amaris.
Now that's my question mark. I watched him so much, and for me, and once again, I actually had a chance to meet him.
They need him
Fine
to
young
develop.
man.
They need him
but
to
I'm
develop,
like,
Mark.
Where is he going to fit?
Yep.
What's his role? Now you don't have to do everything great.
Yep.
But you've got to do some things really well.
Yep.
And I wonder right now, based on my observation of him, what does he do well? Yeah, he's a senior. He's played for different programs for whatever reason. Can't get on to him for changing in this world that we're in.
Yep.
But where does he stand out? I watched his shot, Tony. His rotation's not good. He was bouncing in practice off the side of the backboard.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, where do you fit? Are you a glue guy on defense? Are you a rah-rah guy? He's not a rah-rah guy.
They don't like how hard he works, is my understanding. Did you see that?
Yes, Ed Carey too, which we haven't talked about.
Well, Carey's been better in games than practice. Speak to that. You've seen so much of this. Talk to me here.
Well,
somebody in the staff.
If Tony White's listening, he would love this one.
But
you have some guys that just did not practice well.
Yep.
Or just really put 100% effort all the time. And I'm not knocking guys, even like Tony, love him to death. But when going back to Tony in practice, he would knock down shots to keep Coach DeVoe happy, but he was playing in like second gear. And then game time, I mean, you're going full out.
Yep.
Carey, I watched him in practice, and I don't see the effort. 100%, the little things.
Yeah, they don't like that.
And once again, not to call these kids out, but I'm not going to be a sheep on here either and say everyone's so great.
No, we deal with the truth.
I think he had some conditioning issues.
Yeah.
And I attribute that to off-season. Now, obviously, he played great against Tennessee, so Tennessee fans will know the 2 good games he played. His style, he plays what we call bully ball. If you have a guy 6'8" that's less than 225 that he goes against, he will push them into the basket. What I'm concerned about, if he goes against an athletic big that's 6'8", or even 6'6" or 6'8" that's athletic, that he can't bully. Because he has a little jump shot, not a great vertical, not a great rebounder. And we saw that last night. I think, 12 minutes, 1 rebound. So I think the effort's got to come. My biggest surprise, most improved player is Dwayne Brown.
I love him.
Love his feet.
Yeah.
Carey doesn't have great lateral movement right now. Brown is just he's like he's on a horse. He's always getting after it. He always going toward the basket. I'm obviously relating this to practice. And they didn't expect him, Tony, to be as far as he was at this point, I don't believe. He played for the Florida Rebels for Adidas Travel Ball. Top, I think he's like 110. Used to keep up with those numbers. You know those. But a good role player this year. But I think he's really going to be fighting for some minutes. And Carey needs to be looking behind his back right now because Brown's coming after him. And that's healthy. This is probably the most loaded inside team as far as depth.
It's a shame they don't have a 2-guard.
But they don't have a 2-guard. But you know what? When do you ever have it all? But they don't have. They do have great depth on the inside for substitutions, which I really like.
If that Bishop Boswell guy plays real minutes in the SEC, we're in big trouble. I'm going to say that into a microphone.
I would agree.
I told Negative that. And, and if they do, if he does, I'll never hear the end of it from Negative.
Well,
nor should I.
Berg is the word. I'm just going to go with that. I'm really putting a lot of emphasis on him, and he can, I think, fill that role for this team to go far. I could be wrong, but my observation, he is the guy. As long as he learns the defensive system and Barnes' philosophy. One example last night, I recall this clearly. He and Cade it was a double screen. It was a screen, and they both failed to communicate and switch. And the player just drove straight to the basket immediately. I knew he immediately took Berg out. He sat. Because if you make a critical defensive error, you come out. You're going to make defensive errors. It just happens. Mm-hmm. But according to Barnes, he has this little hierarchy of level that he will allow. And he was out. He wasn't back in for a while. And that's just the way I think as long as you know going in, then you know what to expect. And he'll get better. He'll get better, Tony.
Back to our phones we go. 865-200-5402. A huge football game this weekend. We'll talk about that. All the firings, obviously, and Mark Griffin's in here giving us his thoughts on what we saw last night. We're mixing it all together. We're making a little gumbo in here. John Adams, who will be with us tomorrow. And I tried to tell John when they hired that Kelly guy that it was not going to work down there. When he had that fraudulent family press conference, that fake fraud was never going to work. And now, Bino, they're all going to fight over Lane Kiffin. Can you imagine that, Bino? That's where we are in college football. We're going to fight over damn Lane Kiffin now. Beanstalk.
Brand new world, Tony.
Brand new world. Hello and welcome into our next call on our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. Hi.
Hey, Tony.
Oh, Columbo. What's up, man? Good to talk to you.
LSU ain't going to be able to afford Lane Kiffin. That's going to cost them $13 million. And they don't have the money to fire Kelly. They're just firing him and going to figure out the money later. Like they're not going to be able to afford him. I don't think.
He's going to turn down the LSU job.
13. How's he going to take it, Tony, when he's going to be playing a football game in December and January? Like that's the other thing here. The timeline just doesn't work.
Oh, they
got to have a coaching by the beginning of December, and he's going to be coaching a playoff game.
Mark, do these guys care about their current team when they can better themselves?
They're working deals right now. If anything, it's behind the scene, and
exactly
they'll announce it down the road. It's like a silent commitment in basketball.
Luke Fickell turned down Notre Dame to coach in a playoff that he had no chance of winning. So I don't think he's going to leave a playoff game to take the LSU or Florida job. That's going to get out.
No offense, but you're talking about a guy in Lane Kiffin who left here and was on the phone telling kids not to enroll in school the next day. Not exactly a paragon of virtue. Not exactly a paragon of virtue. And nothing. He's already shown himself.
Which one of these coaches are?
So hey, I'm not saying
it's a profession full of scoundrels and scumbags.
I'm not saying anything.
But he's coaching in the playoffs. He's not going to. The timeline doesn't work for there or Florida.
Bino,
let me get into a reason why it really did call.
Bino, do you don't believe it, do you, Bino?
This whole baseball hire.
You don't believe it, do you, Bino?
What now?
Bino, you don't believe it about Kiffin, do you?
I'll be stunned if Kiffin isn't at either LSU or Florida.
He's going to sit down there.
I agree.
Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
Okay. Hey, I've been wrong before, but I'm telling you, I don't know how the timeline works. If he's going to be coaching a game on December 20th and 21st in the playoff, and if he wins that, he's coaching January 1. Because at minimum, they're hosting a playoff game. They're going to win out and make the playoff. At minimum, they're hosting. Probably the G5 team. They're going to win. He's going to be coaching in January. How do you take the job when the portal opens?
You just
you
name
Ed Orgeron at one of those places.
That's exactly what you do. You name
the
Ed
interim coach, and you wait on Kiffin.
You name Ed Orgeron the interim coach. That's exactly what you do.
If you don't think it's going to get out that they're hiring, okay, we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, I think it's going to get out.
The baseball thing. let me tell you the reason I'm calling the baseball thing.
Go ahead.
Is everybody happy now? Is everybody done bitching and moaning about the process, or are we back on planet Earth? That they hired the guy everybody wanted?
Bino, are you
happy?
happy?
They were going to hire all along?
Bino, are you happy?
I am. I'm very happy.
Okay. Tony, it can't just be that, Danny White did his due diligence and didn't make an emotional, rash decision and said, yes, I'm opening this up to a quote-unquote national search. So I can, when I hire Josh Elander, I could say, yeah, we looked, we wanted to look around a little bit, but we always came back to the fact that Josh is our number one guy. And I got to sit down with Josh and his family, and, we're in agreement on where we want to take this program and build on the success that Coach Vitello had. And we all feel that Coach Elander is the guy to do that. Or, it couldn't be that he was just kind of doing a favor or two to an agent by, quote-unquote, interviewing other people. Nobody was taking this job in October, Tony. That'd be like taking the football job in late July. But it's always got to be some kind of drama associated with it. Can't be just the guy was doing his job. Like, what booster is pulling money over a baseball hire? If that's the case, then this is a Harry High School operation. Do I think Danny talked to boosters? Of course he did.
I don't get what you're getting at.
This insinuation that boosters strong-armed Danny White into hiring
I never
Josh
said that.
Elander. I'm like, come on.
I never said that.
Come on.
I never said that.
It's in your blog.
No, I didn't say that. I never said he got strong-armed. Did I use the term strong-armed?
Oh, God. Boosters called Danny White and made him hire.
And what's wrong with? No, I did not. I did not write that. I never wrote that. I want you to read that. No, it's what you read. That's exactly right, but it's not what I wrote. Mark. Don't put. Hey, Mark.
The big boosters made their opinion known.
Oh, and what's wrong with that, Mark? You know who built the stadium
Danny
over
White
there?
Wasn't consulting with them already.
Hey, Mark. You know who built the stadium over there? The big boosters.
Yeah, you know who the former?
Hey, Mark, hang on.
Of course, Danny White had conversations
Mark, you don't know the
them.
facts. Mark, you don't know the facts. You're in Columbus, Ohio. You don't know jack shit about this, okay? Now let me share. Mark, it's my show. I'm going to talk. You put words in my mouth. Now I'm going to speak. I never said the booster strong-armed him. I said they were blown away by the inundation of the former players that went to bat for this guy. And Danny White, as he should be, is kind of unplugged from the baseball thing because, as in your words, it's not a big rev sport. It's not much on his radar. And he had no idea that this Elander guy had the support he had. But what happened, Mark, was if you read the blog, they reached out to the people that were on their short list and they got not interested. And then he sat down and talked with the guy and he realized that he wasn't going to be like Tony Vitello. It's all right there. I never said anybody strong-armed Danny White. Now, how did you arrive at that? If I would have said that he got strong-armed, I would have damn written it, Mark. You know me. I would have written that.
White was...
Now, Mark, apologize to me.
The upper crust boosters reached out to Danny White in full authority support of Josh Elander.
What's wrong with that? Yes, they did. Apologize.
What, they threatened to pull money.
Did they threaten to? Did I write that? Did I write that, Mark?
So it's still Danny White's hire.
That's what I said.
The big boosters didn't hire this guy.
That's what
Danny
I
White
said.
made the hire.
I never said that the boosters hired him. I congratulated him in the last paragraph. Congratulations for making the right hire. What's wrong with that? That's the backstory on this thing. That's how they went from on Mark.
I mean, I was pissed off about the process. They didn't give him the job on freaking Wednesday when Tony Vitello retired or left.
Huh? Do what?
I mean,
what, Mark?
Everybody's all up in arms because they didn't immediately give him the job when Vitello left.
Who's up in arms? Nobody's critical.
I've heard all over this fan base.
Oh well, you're not talking to one.
Should have been done right when he left.
Okay, well you're not talking to one of those today. I say like Bino said today, you can be wrong, don't stay wrong. Kind of like you, Mark. You're wrong a lot, and you stay wrong. You had to have Nico. Hang on a second. You had to have Nico crash and burn into a million pieces before you admitted that he wasn't going to be a first-round draft pick this year. No offense to you, but you had to have that happen to you.
Tony, he's going to be playing for Lane Kiffin.
And you've got this crush. You've got this man crush on Lane Kiffin. I don't understand. I mean, you think the guy, he's the same guy, Mark, that left here and contacted all his players.
Yeah, that was like 16 years ago. I've gotten over it. Maybe you should too.
The fact that he's in a playoff, Mark, over it. You've got a shrine to the guy. You're not getting over it. You've got a shrine to him.
He's only like 33-5 his last 38 games. And that's all.
Mark, thank you. Have a good day. And have fun with your Lane Kiffin Cupid doll. 865-200-5402.
At that.
Bino, where in the blog did I write that the booster strong-armed Danny White? Did I use that term in there? Or even hint at that? I mean, what in the world?
Tony, I'm ashamed to admit, I believe this is the first time I've ever come on the show when I had failed to read the blog before I came on.
It was pretty damn good today. If I can say
I will read
myself.
it, and I apologize that I haven't before I got on here.
And Throtaji talked about it too. They, the former players, really, really went to bat for the guy. Past generations of players, which is exactly what Josh Elander said at that press conference we took today. This thing about, oh, well, the booster's strong. Who said that? When did they threaten to pull money? Huh? I didn't write that. Mark Griffin, you know me. If the boosters threatened to pull money from him, would I have written that?
No doubt.
Thank you. Mark, shut the hell up, you clown. You are a fool. You made a fool of yourself today. And that pisses me off because that's the kind of stuff that happens to me, is that I'm not afraid to tell the truth in that spot and on this show. And people go to the boards and go, Tony said he got strong-armed into it. I never wrote he got strong-armed into it. Let me tell you something. If I thought he got strong-armed into it, I would say he got strong-armed into it. What happened was he sat down and met with the guy and realized this isn't Tony Vitello. All the while, he heard from the big money people that said hire him. All the while, he heard from former players that said hire him. And they shut the process down and they hired him. They had every intention, Mark, of having a national coaching search. I mean, if you're going to come in here with some half-cocked dipshit stuff, come in here better prepared than that, man.
Tony, what we don't know, and you may have talked about this ad nauseum, but through his contacts, and I mean Danny White, and his baseball contacts, we don't know who was reached out that's just not got leaked out.
Sure.
I mean, if he's a smart, and he's got to be smart, come on, he wouldn't be where he is.
Yeah.
You're going to reach out to your powers that be to throw out a line to say, hey, are you interested? You don't want it to get out, right?
Sure.
I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen is that you look like, your coach that you hire is the 5th or 6th pick, regardless of fit.
And Mark says, well, he got guys raises. If that's the case, then how come we didn't see guys being paraded onto our campus? Because the way you get a raise is to get paraded onto somebody's campus. So, Mark, that's wrong. The thing about him getting strong on by the boosters is wrong. You putting those words in my mouth is wrong. And I think you owe me an apology. And I think you need to spend an extra 10 minutes with your Kiffin Cupid doll today. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Oh, Tony. You don't think you hit a nerve last week over there?
Oh, I hit nerves a lot, but that's all right.
Oh, yeah, man. You hit big-time nerves. And I'll tell you what crystallized it for me when Barnes comes out unprompted and says what he says at his presser for the Duke game.
Oh,
you hit a huge nerve.
Danny's got an interesting. I'm not going to get into that. Listen.
Oh no! I
think it's great.
I give you great kudos for that.
I think it's great. One big happy
You
family.
told the truth.
Well, it is what it
and
is.
I mean, and I mean that's what I wanted to tell you. I mean, I really think you like you say, you call balls and strikes, and I got to say this. I think Elander will do an excellent job. I mean, they made the logical choice.
Yep.
And I got to give them. I got to give them great credit for finally doing what they should have done to start with. But hey,
Bino, you called the only choice, right? You called the only choice, Bino.
Yes, I think it was the. I think Matt said it originally, and I agree completely. I think Elander was the only choice in this situation.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's at an odd time of year. You're going to have a virtually impossible situation trying to hire an established coach from, if that's what you're going to do, from a program, no matter where it is, because they're all in place. And I'm not surprised if he did, in fact, reach out to somebody or several somebodies, that they didn't give him. They gave him a tepid or no response. They just said, "Hey, we're not interested." They're not going to walk away from what they've got. I mean, that's logic. And
Vandy, let's talk about Vandy football. I'm off this baseball thing.
Okay, let's go. Let's talk about it.
Tell me about them.
I think Saturday they played the toughest game that they've had all year, including the Alabama game. I'm going to be really interested to see how they play at Texas. And they can lose the last 4 games they play this year, or they could win all 4 of them.
They're in the exact spot the Vols are.
Or they could split.
Joe, the thing that's so great, and I'm glad you said that, Bino, the entire league, the Vols could easily go 10-2. The Vols could easily go 8-4. Vanderbilt could easily finish 10-2. They could easily finish 8-4. Texas right now could go 10-2. They could finish 8-4. There are so many teams that are like that right now, Bino. It is insane how great this league is, man.
Yeah, it really is, and it's never. I don't think it's ever been more competitive from top to bottom. You know, usually you can tier leagues into about 3 to 4 tiers. I'm not sure there's more than 2 in this one, and the lines are blurred between the 2.
Mark, you're a longtime resident of the Nashville scene. Can you believe what Vanderbilt's putting on the field in football this year and how very good they look? It's crazy, isn't it?
Tony, I work in the Nashville area several times a week, and Vanderbilt is one of my customers, and it's really interesting to hear the people in the community talk Vandy football.
Are they bought in on this thing?
They bought in this year.
They're bought in.
You know, even if it's a small dose, small sample size, it's something to really dive into and just live the dream, because not one fan in the SEC has ever thought this would happen in our lifetime.
As in ever.
And ever.
I
mean, we've always talked, Tony, I've listened to you for 30-something years about how many times you said, let's get rid of Vanderbilt from the SEC. Let's remove them from the SEC. And I'm so excited that Vanderbilt's done well outside of their game against UT. I was driving down the street in Nashville the other day. They were getting set up for game day. And I'm sure that's the first time ever that game day was in Nashville.
What are we doing?
And I'm like shocked.
Second time ever?
Second, okay.
I think it was the second year in 08.
Okay. 08. Oh, my gosh.
See, I don't remember that.
Boy, that must have been a sparse weekend. So the point is at the end of the day that they're in a market too, which is interesting, because the Titans, what they're putting on the field, and I know you're kind of a big NFL guy, that's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Mark.
It's unwatchable.
It's atrocious.
I went to Vegas and saw him play. I'm going to the Jacksonville game in a couple of weeks, and it's just it's a snooze fest. But once again, back to Vanderbilt though, it's really exciting. I mean, people wearing Pavia jerseys.
Show your goal.
And it's more than just Pavia. I mean, yes, he's the one that gets all the attention.
Yep.
But you've got to give this coaching staff a lot of credit for who they've recruited and brought in, and what Lee has done under his leadership. I was so impressed the way he handled himself. He's not a me guy. He's such an anti-Kiffin guy, and I am knocking Kiffin. The focus is on the process.
Yep.
It's on the camaraderie, the game by game, the chemistry, and he's paid his dues, and really is an upstanding individual.
Yep.
Lived in Nashville. I think he went to NBA, if I'm not mistaken. Vandy Joe would know. It's just really neat to see. I'm really thankful outside their game against UT, and I'm really looking forward to that game.
Oh my gosh,
as well. I mean, weather withstanding.
Bino, here's my question to you and Vandy Joe. I'm gonna ask both you old heads this. Bino, do you want Vandy to win out and us to win out for that game, or would you rather Vandy suffer a loss and pull some air out of them? Where are you, Bino, on that?
No, I would love for both teams to win out. And that game have actual consequences to it. Because if that happens,
yes,
one of them's probably going to the playoffs.
That's right. That's right. Joe, what do you say?
Oh, I'd love for it to happen. I mean, the thing about it is they could make, if that were to occur, it may revive the rivalry that used to go on back eons ago.
Let me help you out with that. No. Mark, where are you on that in terms of wanting Vandy
I think
Tennessee?
It would.
No. You
You
got to do it for 10 years. But
maybe for Vanderbilt it's a rivalry.
Yeah,
yes,
maybe.
But once again, for UT,
you got to have some credibility.
Well, and
but I understand that.
That's the thing. That's the thing I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead. Tell me this.
That's the chip that they will bring into this game.
True.
That is true.
That is true. That's always been every year when Tennessee played Vanderbilt in football. We always heard, even when Majors was there, it was they remember what you did in November, and it was always when they played Vanderbilt, it was their bowl game.
Yep.
You heard that over and over. It's their bowl game. It's their bowl game. It's their bowl game.
Yes, I'll tell you this though, Joe. That will be closing my eyes. That scene at Calhoun's on the River on Friday, buddy, a win and get in game. And then if you win that game in 2 weeks, you host a game in Neyland Stadium, because that's what it would be. I mean, that would be undamn real, guys. Unreal.
Oh, look, I mean, regardless of who wins that game,
yes.
I mean, you're going to see, I mean, they're going to be, you're right, they'll probably be hosting a home game.
Yes.
On their home field.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go. I mean, I'd love to go to that football game, but you know what my situation is?
No doubt about it.
I've got a bad back situation, and so
keep fighting, brother.
You know, I'm still struggling with it.
Love you, man. It's always great to hear from you. Thank you, brother. 865-200-5402. You had a call based in fact and reason, and Lumbo's on here being a clown. Let's go back to our phones.
Time to move on, Tony.
Hey, Marky. Well, I'm just tired.
I'm
kind of irritable. Go ahead, Brian.
Clark Lee is really hard to dislike.
Yep.
And James Franklin, when he was there, you just loathed him.
That's a great point.
He's a PP, James Franklin.
I mean, he just was so unlikable. But this guy, I have a hard time disliking him. I don't like Pavia.
Yeah.
But I can't dislike Clark Lee.
Talk about juxtaposition of coaches.
Yeah.
You're exactly right, Brian.
You know, the thing about James Franklin, which is interesting, right? Because I've talked to some of my buddies in Nashville about his undoing, and they said he's the most rabbit-eared guy. You ever heard that they've ever been around? He would read. One guy that writes for one of these sites said Franklin contacted him on the team bus. Something he wrote on a chat board.
I'm
about the team.
Yeah,
How in the world
I've
can
heard
you
this
do
from
that?
a really good.
How can you be that way?
Contact in Nashville, the Vanderbilt follower, that he paid a lot of attention to the outside noise. Too much, and as a coach, you want to tune that out. Yeah.
Mm.
What else you got, Tony? Hoop stuff?
Lay it on me.
No, I'm just curious.
Give me some observations.
Well, one observation, seeing Felix Okporo knock down the three was kind of cool. I don't think you're going to see that a lot. And I think Estrella hit a three.
Yes.
We haven't talked about Estrella.
Tell me about Estrella, who the only thing separating him from an NBA future is his body cooperating. Because they really thought when they first had him, Barnes was telling people he going to play in the NBA.
Yeah. Now, what I question, I'm going to show a little shade here.
Throw some shade.
I'm a little concerned about him 5 foot out. Now, he knocked down a three.
Yeah.
In practice, I never see him shoot 15-foot shot, 10-foot shot. Now, inside, his arm length, he must be 7'5" or something. It's unbelievable. His arm length's incredible.
Yeah.
I'd like to see he's going to have to develop more offensively, obvious.
Yes.
He's got to stay healthy.
Yes.
Big body.
Yes.
When I had to look up at the roster to see how tall he was, because I thought he's got to be 6'8".
Yeah.
To me, he doesn't play 6'11", outside the length of his arms.
Yeah.
He to me doesn't play big, and I'll have people that'll argue that, and that's fine. But I want to see him get more offensive as far as moves inside. A great jump hook. Use the backboard well. I'd like to see him extend his game. Of course, that's going to all depend on Barnes' offense. I mean, he's going to do what Barnes lets him do.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to expand his game for him to be even in the conversation of an NBA player. Right now, I just want to stay healthy because he's a big body. He uses his hands really well. He extends his arms. That's really nice to see. He doesn't come down with the ball when he rebounds. That's number one sin in basketball. You rebound, you bring it down to your waist where the guards can knock it out. He's been taught really well over the years, keep the ball high and go straight up. So he brings a lot of great things. I just want to see him expand his offense to where he gets to the free throw line even more.
That is the one thing that stood out to me last night was the lack of foul shots in that first half, even as well as we were playing.
No free throws in the first half made.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they were 0 for 4, Tony, and
you got to get to the line more than that.
If you want to control a game, you go inside.
Yeah.
Obviously, the way the game is now, it's more perimeter oriented, but you do the inside outside. Work it inside to get an open shot outside, but you go to the boards, draw these fouls, block out, and get that 1-and-1 early, and they did not do that.
Count these guys. Akpara, that's one. This Brown guy is going to be a very good player. You got to play him early. It's way earlier. He's way ahead of schedule. Mm-hmm. He demands minutes. Phillips, you've got to play. He demands minutes. Yes. J.P. Estrella demands minutes. Who else on the front line? Anybody else?
Well, you got Carey.
You throw Carey in there too.
That's 5 guys.
I've
never seen.
In his career.
You know what would be a really sad thing is if them not having the major for the kid, that McNeely kid from Virginia, because that's what happened.
Oh gosh, what a player!
They had him.
I know.
He was going to come.
They
had a deal worked out with him.
I saw him play in person last year.
Any good?
Oh, he's great. He's such a Barnes
How good would this
player,
team be if they had him?
He'd run through a wall.
Barnes loved it. They were in love with each other.
It's the woulda, coulda, shouldas. But yeah, it's too bad. Ideal player, but that's what they got to work around, Tony. You hit, and sometimes you miss.
That's right.
And then you adapt.
That's right.
And I'm going to go back to Mr. Berg.
And then you go to Israel.
Yeah.
And you get a guy nobody knows about.
I never heard of him.
That's right.
5-star, 3-star, no star, whatever.
Bino, what'd you think of him last night, the Israeli national?
I was thinking I'd like to see more of him. And I think we're going to have to see more of him like you guys have talked about. A couple of quick things for you, Mark. Okpara, the offensive improvement that I think I saw last night. Is that real or is that Memorex?
Wow, that's a great question. I hope it's real. If it's any improvement over last year, I will gladly take it. Because, see, with Okpara, he actually played for EAB, the travel organization that I was with, that, with Keon Johnson and so forth. And his head coach coached Felix. He went through this when he was growing up in high school and was at Hamilton Heights. He's been limited offensively, but Coach Barnes knows what he gets with him defensively. He knows that he alters shots, he rebounds, and if he can get to the free throw line, he's a pretty good free throw shooter, but he is not going to be a guy with 10 seconds on the clock, you're going to clear out the inside and have a go-to basket like they did last night every time for Boozer. What I really loved about Shire, and he was a guy that I didn't like as a player. I really respect him as a coach. He did such a great job of clearing guys out and forcing a one-on-one situation. Mainly Cade Phillips was guarding him, and I thought Cade worked as well as he could. But you're not going to see that with a Barnes-led team with Okporo inside. Now, what I am curious, Bino, will we see that set where you do clear guys out and have mainly a one-on-one, one side of the court offensive play to generate offense? I don't know if we still have that on this team as well, unless you have a mismatch. But you do have a team that's going to have guys go to the offensive boards when a shot's taken. They're going to play well defensively, and they're just going to accumulate points as they can, but we still need that offensive output from a two-man. Someone's got to step up. Is it Amari Evans? I don't know. Was he hurt last night? I don't know what's going on with him. And we haven't talked about him. I love how hard he plays defensively, but he's limited offensively right now. But he's like any other freshman that's come in. You talk about we talked about this yesterday, Schofield. He's further along than Schofield was when he was a freshman. I think Armani Evans is the kid that went to Memphis with the Grizzlies.
Yep.
I think he's further along than him as a freshman. Great. You could just see the talent, but how will he adapt to Coach Barnes and staff coaching, and how will he improve offensively? Because if you don't play defense on this team, you're not going to play.
Back to the phones we go. Hello. Go ahead, go ahead, Bino.
Oh, just a quick follow-up on Okpar. I don't care if he's ever a go-to guy. I just want him to do what he did last night and not rush things on pick and rolls, and whatever points he gives us is a bonus.
He looked very comfortable
the other thing
offensively.
Is, can you tell either Phillips or Estrella, one of the two, to take that KT tape off of their shoulder? Because all those white guys look alike to me out there. I couldn't tell who was who.
Well, what's funny, speaking of Okpara, if you look at, and Tony, I know you're big on this, but plus minus, I mean, he led the team. He was he was the low on the team. He was a negative 13. So even though I think he was 5 from 5 from the field or so, while he was on the court, Tennessee fared their worst. And coaches look at that to see how are you contributing as a whole while you're on the court. So people that may know what plus or minus means, it's does your team outscore your opponent while you're on the floor, and if so, that's a plus. If your opponent is outscoring you while you're on the floor, it's a negative, and it adds up over the minutes that you're on the floor. Well, Tennessee was a negative 13 when Okpara was there, and the high, unfortunately, was low. Was a very low number. Was +4. Cade Phillips.
Back to the phones we go. It's all interesting stuff. Griffin, the house, Tennessee and Duke put on a show last night. It was fun seeing Duke in our building in a practice game, but it's the weight of Tennessee's program and where they are in the sport right now that John Shire would take his team and travel in there and do that. It's great for both programs. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What's up, guys? Josh, your boy.
Hey, Josh.
Guys, I really think we're going to know what our team really has when we go up against that Houston bunch third week in November.
Vegas.
Big deal. Great
in Las
event.
Vegas. Yeah.
That's a huge event. Here's a problem with all these teams, though. You're really not going to know what you have till you get into your conference season and you get halfway through your conference season. But, look.
Tony, I think this team, once they gel, they're going to be really good this season.
Yeah. How long is it going to take, Mark, with all these teams, for you really to know what you have?
I I think it's going to take into February. I think, people always say, hey, February. You jump into conference, you know what you got. Well, look at the pre-conference schedule, Tony. It's got a few games mixed in there that are formidable opponents, but when you're playing Mercer, North Florida, Tennessee State, and I don't know the rest of the home games that they're playing, I don't know how much you really see the gelling, the maturation process of players until they get into conference play and actually have a few games behind them. What do you think, Josh?
I think it's semantics. I think Josh, when we play Houston, we'll know our holes, what we need to work.
Yes. And also, when we play that Louisville bunch here in December, I think that's going to be a lot of takeaways from that game too.
And Illinois and Nashville. So they do have some really good opponents. And what is neat about pre-conference is after practicing day after day and really trying to build a chemistry and who's going to be their sixth man and what adjustments are they going to make based on fouls, you get into these big games like a Louisville, Illinois game, and it starts to weed itself out to say, hey, this guy's just not there. They're going to maybe they can work them in down the road sparingly in a conference game. Not all the guys are going to be happy. It's fine. You don't come to play ball to be happy, but you just have to find the right chemistry, and it does take time, and it's quite a challenge. And then guys ebb and flow, Tony. Guys get hot, and they have streaks, and then they falter. And so you just try to find guys that are more consistent. Not just athletic, but the mental edge. And that's what I love about Jacoby, just such a leader. I watched last night, guys were shooting free throws. He's over there talking to Ament half court. They're not talking about the crowd. They're talking about the next play. He's probably telling them, hey, stay focused. We got this. We're in the game. It's 3-possession game till the very end, Tony. And you can't simulate that in practice
it's great.
at Thompson Bowling on a Thursday. You just can't.
It's a great thing they're letting these teams do now, especially now more than ever because they're all putting their rosters together. They're all new. The Duke kids are all getting used to each other. And who knows, maybe you see them down the line in the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
It's Elite 8 game.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Tom.
No, it's like an Elite 8 level preseason game, basically, you watched last night.
Agreed. Yeah, the only question I really have for Griff left, Griff, do you think this team could be a top 3 SEC team this season?
Wow. I think they're borderline top 3, top 4 at worst. But they could. And once again, Josh, boy, a lot of stuff comes into play. What's exciting is going into the season, having this conversation based on the talent level that the staff was able to put together to consistently, year after year, post-Connect, post-Lanier, and still bring in guys to say, hey, could we be a top 3 or top 4 team again this year and not falter and fall off the map? And Barnes has given this team, this tradition, this fan base, a lot of optimism. Now, can they be an Elite 8 team? I hope that they can, but I'm not going to bet on them right now that far. I think it's too early because you have to see what you had talked about. We have to see the development and the chemistry, injuries. So much comes into play, peaking at the right time, but as a fan, I think it shows a lot for the fans to come out last night like they did. It's incredible.
Gosh, man.
Tony, you got fans that are listening, and I worked for Wade Houston. 5,000 plus, and that's why they changed the orange seats to black because it was so much attention, to the seats that weren't fulfilled. To now, there were hardly any empty seats.
How about that, Bino? How about Duke coming in on a preseason game and what that says about your program, which I haven't really considered that, but imagine the power of what Rick Barnes has done for that to occur.
No, it's really amazing where we sit right now, Tony, and the interest in the program and how it's viewed nationally now.
And it can't all be about making the Final Four. I know some people make it all about that. But, I learned from being a Temple fan, the fact that John Chaney got them to the Elite Eight 5 times and didn't get to the Final Four, does that make him less of a coach? I mean, it just doesn't in my eyes.
It takes a lot of luck to get the Elite Eight.
Think about how random, and some of these random jokers that have gotten to the Final Four. Just random jokers, man. Just think about it. They better coaches than John Chaney?
Oh gosh, what Tony? For people that don't know John Chaney and was it the 5:30 a.m. practices?
5:30 a.m.
5
kept those kids out of trouble. That's right.
They all got up and started at 5:30.
That's right.
In Philly.
Yep.
In the cold.
No doubt about it. To the phones we go. I'm very excited for this season. I was proud of Brian being in here last night along with Alex, showing the commitment we have to covering these sports. That's why we took Elander's press conference today. We're excited for that. We're excited for the Oklahoma game. I got people jumping on my ass in the comments about how it's Oklahoma week, and you guys are talking about all these. Hey, listen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just in here doing my best. I'm sorry to have failed you.
Tony, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Since it's Oklahoma week.
Yeah.
Heupel, his approach.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all have talked about it, or you will talk about it.
Yeah.
For an elite coach, how hard is it, if we would consider him an elite coach?
Yeah.
To block out personal issues when you approach this business we call a football game on Saturday. How hard is that, and what steps can he take without you obviously speaking to him personally? What does a coach like that do? Because to me, that seems like that would be very, very difficult.
All right. That is a great question.
And you may have already answered on your blog.
No. In fact, I'm going to reach out to Watson Brown right now because when I hear something that needs to be talked about, I text him, and I'm going to take you up on that offer. Here we go. Hey, Watson, hope you're well, period. Really looking forward to talking to you on Wednesday, period. You're kind of the man, period. Watson, question for you, period. When you're in the spot Josh Heupel's in other words, you are a Hall of Fame quarterback at Oklahoma. You were dismissed by that place at one time, period. You have last year's game in the rearview mirror, but you play a really important game with them this weekend. How do you block out the personal stuff and just focus on the football game? Question mark. How hard is that to do? Question mark. Can you think of anything from your past that you can talk about Wednesday on the show that rose to this level? Question mark. Because Oklahoma being in town is really a big deal. Period. It just is going to feel different in that stadium on Saturday. How does Josh Heupel keep his eyes on what's really important? And is it hard since we're all human beings? Question mark. There we go.
There you go.
Was that because I'm certainly not qualified to answer that, but it's a great question.
It's a great
question. We're all
question.
humans.
And also,
Bino, great question.
On top of that,
yeah.
And you always hear you have material on the board. People make a comment like, "Oh, that gave us extra motivation." See, I never believed in extra motivation.
Right.
I always felt you're either motivated or you're not. Where do you get the extra? But does he have tactics for his players as well, for them to kind of like, hey, we want to win this for you, coach? Or is that necessary in today's world?
No.
I don't think so either,
My
but you'll
answer to
have
that
some
is
fans that may think, that he's going to really motivate his players, make it personal about how they did them wrong, or bring out an article or something.
Yeah.
So you always try to find a competitive advantage in any area in business, and I consider this business. It's a football game, but it's still business.
Well, like Bino said earlier, if you're not cutthroat enough. I give Danny White a lot of credit last year when they were pushing on him to give Tim Banks a 3-year extension, and he eventually acquiesced on it, but he didn't want to. So now, and I was thinking about that. Now if they go back to Danny White and say, hey, you got to fire him, they're going to owe this coordinator, Bino, a couple $1 million. And he's not going to be very happy about that, Bino, and he shouldn't be, because he didn't want to do the deal in the first place, Beanstar. But that just goes to show you this is not just a game. It's big business, Mark.
Sure.
It's big business. Here's the other problem in this era, guys. How do I keep my players plugged in if I lose this game, either team, over the weekend? I saw where Harold Perkins from LSU, guys, is shutting it down. You're going to start seeing more of that. Hey, I'm an entity over here. I'm my own business. This isn't like when you were on campus, Mark, and we had a couple $100 handed out through the back door when you had a good game.
Yeah, I missed those days, or those handouts. But yes, you're right. You're exactly right.
It's totally bizarre now. I wouldn't want to coach.
Yeah.
You could not. Beanstar, could I pay you enough to coach right now with these kids? I mean, Mark, you did it.
The people that do it now won't admit it. I think most people won't admit that they don't like it until they get out of it. They're stuck in it now because the money's too much.
That's right.
Once they leave, and they'll talk to their small circle. But Tony, this made me reflect, and you may remember this. The first person I remember that backed out of a bowl game, wasn't it Christian McCaffrey? Or not a bowl, or it was a
That's interesting.
I think it, and
like
Brian
a
may know that.
High-profile guy?
High-profile guy that says, I'm not going to play in the bowl game, or I think it was. And I still remember how selfish, for you to sell out on your teammates that fought with you. And now I'm not saying it's common, but every year you've got guys that are backing out because it's all about themselves even more, and in a sense it is about themselves, but it's still the team. It's why you came to school, to help your program, to wear that jersey, whatever color it is, whatever.
It's a crazy ass era, Mark.
And it's just different.
How about this? Imagine this. If you're not out there trying to, right now, and you're Josh Heupel, if you're not out there tampering with LSU's roster, you're not doing your job. Or Florida's roster.
No doubt.
Or Penn State's roster. But if somebody calls one of the guys on your team, you are royally pissed off.
Yeah.
Tony Vols, now that he's gone, I can tell this story, is all upset, Bino, about Jay Johnson this past year poaching around on the pitcher from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and then one of the power hitters that we have on this team this year. And I'm listening to him, and I'm thinking, because I didn't say it to him, Mark, but I'm thinking, what would the difference be between that and what you did with Ole Miss last year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But these guys don't. The world they live in.
Yeah.
Bino, how do you think he would have responded if I'd have said that to him?
Not good, Tony. And he would have told you. And then everything would have been okay. He'd have come back on.
Well, another thing, even going back years ago, and this was, I was in contact with a lot of coaches over the years who developed some great relationships through travel ball.
Yeah.
You would always hear back then that, and I'll pick on Kentucky. I'll use a school up north just as an example.
Okay.
That, Joe B. Holiday is well known for maybe not doing things above board.
Sure. They paid kids all those years.
But what would come down was, the line would be, are you going to turn us in? No. Why?
Right.
Because you turn them in, they're going to turn you in for the kid that you pulled from them or
That's
another
right.
program. So it's kind of like, stay in your lane.
Right.
Don't come over my lane, accuse me.
Right.
Because they're doing it too. And I'm not saying every program is cheated.
But like Bino said earlier, in this deal, you either kill your coaches or you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
David Cutcliffe, guys, when he was at Ole Miss, they went to him 25 years ago and said, fire your coordinators or you're gone. He said, guys, see you later.
Yeah.
How many guys, Mark, would do that?
On a hand.
One hand.
One hand. And their other hand's in a pocket of somebody Booster's, wallet. Right?
Well, Mark's got the greatest line in the world. If you ever want to buy somebody lunch, bring a coach, because you're buying a lunch if you bring a coach with you.
Yeah.
How many of those guys, Mark, ever reach out and say, I got the check?
None.
Thank you very little. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends at VIP Play, we got Monday Night Football tonight. We got some hot action in the is the World Series taking a break, Bino, or is that tonight?
It's tonight through Wednesday.
Tonight.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Who do we like? I thought they would. Yeah, I thought they'd take a break.
Give Monday night. It's kind of Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah.
Sunday night they took a break.
Who do we like in this series? It's 1-1 right now. Going back to LA. Who do you got, Bino?
I'm for the Blue Jays, but I'll take the Dodgers in 6.
You can get some great action over at VIP Play on the series. The Oklahoma game. Here's the thing. My SEC 3-pack pick parlay was 1/2 a point off from hitting over the weekend. I'll have some good stuff for you. My guys with Winners and Losers presented by Dos Equis / VIP Play, they sharpened their pencils. And, man, they had a hell of a weekend. And I heard those picks, and Brian went off. Brian had a great weekend. And so, Brian, I hope you're cashing big checks over at VIP Play. Kudos to you. You bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Wow. The promo code is TNTony. Again, TNTony, 200 leagues, live always. If you want to bet on some footy, there's some MLS action tonight. I'll be watching. My Union blew a 2-goal lead in the last 10 minutes last night, ended up in a kickoff. It was disgusting, but we still won, and I cashed a ticket there. Numerous bet types, props, options, you got it. VIP Play, where everyone gets treated like a VIP. And if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. And, Bino, you might say somebody that bets on MLS soccer could have a gambling problem.
Dixie wants to know if you listened to the kickoff.
To the what?
Dixie wants to know if you listened to the kickoff.
Oh, yeah. No, I had the radio. Alex was up there watching it with me. I had the radio call on while the kickoff was going on. I had the radio call synced up with the television. So we go back to the phones. We'll get a few more calls in and then get out of here. Griff, it's good to see you, man.
You too, man. Glad to be here.
Fired up, focused, and prepared. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, fellas. Hope everybody's well.
Hey, Rusty, welcome in.
Thanks, brother. So good hearing what Mark said about last night's event. I won't call it a basketball game, but last night's event. Found it interesting that Duke was just running one offensive set after another through that ball game. I mean, they were running all their stuff, and pretty much we didn't run a single set in the second half. At least we were pretty much just having Gillespie or Ament just go one-on-one most of the game, and it was all just a microcosm of Barnes treated it like a practice, and I thought that Shire treated it like a game he wanted to win.
Well, I think you make a good point as far as what Shire running a set. I was at practice. I'll give an example, Rusty. I went to watch UT the other day, and they were preparing, and for a lot of the fans, Tennessee and every team, when they do their scout report, they will have a scout team run the set of their opponent, usually a second team or maybe some walk-ons, just so they get familiar with rotation. And they have a lot of different rotations or secondary or third options off that primary set. What was really interesting, I was really amazed to really focus on Shires. I'll get to Barnes in a second. They ran a 5-out set, meaning no individual was on the block. And you're talking Boozer, I don't know how tall he is, 6'8", Tony, or is he 6'10"? I'm not sure.
9-ish.
6'9". He's top of the key. And based on where the ball is on the wing and screens and the screen action, looking at rotation based on the rotation of the defense, would be able to open up various shots and being able to have second and third options to drive the ball, which I've never seen that type of offense. I've seen a 5-out offense, but not run the way Shire did. So kudos to him. And Tennessee knew what they were going to run, just like Duke knew what Tennessee was going to run. And I think you're right, too. I don't think Barnes showed a lot. And this goes back to the old adage of, even you hear this a lot in football, especially beginning of the season when you're playing an inferior opponent. What are you going to show? You can't show it all. So when Florida plays Tennessee, they've seen it. It's the same thing in basketball. I mean, they ran some what they just call sets. You got a lot of crossing at the baseline of Jacoby and Ament to get an opening, and then you'll have a screen away after you make a pass, and you're just really trying to see how the defense if they're going to switch or if they're not going to switch, and then you rotate accordingly. So it's a really basic offense, but going back to what you said, I think you're correct. Didn't run a lot of specialty plays.
Right.
I didn't see, Rusty, during timeouts where Tennessee would run a play that was a specialty play design. They may have, but I didn't really focus on it. And I did see Duke run one excellent play, and I don't know if it was.
I was getting ready to bring it up.
I think it was beginning of the second half where they had some of the best rotation. Like 3 guys handled the ball, then they end up spitting it out to the corner for a 3-point shot. The guy made it. And I just
that was just under 8 minutes to go, and Shire called a timeout.
Yeah, exactly.
Called the play.
To call the play. And I sat there and I said, that is a great timeout, because people a lot of times give coaches hard times for not using their timeout. They had 3 remaining. So they used one to have 2 with 8 minutes, which is ideal, because you do want to at least hold a timeout for less than 2 minutes. But you're right. They ran that specialty play where they had at least 2 to 3 options, kicked it to a guy in the corner, knocked it down, and then I just sat in my seat and I thought, ooh, this doesn't look good. So
they got it to the wing on the opposite side. He drove to the basket. We collapsed.
Exactly
and
right.
The opposite corner was wide open, and they kicked it and buried a 3. It was a beautifully designed play, but like you said, all kinds of options. What I took away from the ball game is a mint at 6'11", against what I think is pretty good defenders out of Duke, can get to like 4 feet from the basket with ease off the bounce. And if you just have Okpara being able to show that he can make threes every now and then and force his defender to come with him, Ament's going to get to the rim the way we used to spread the court 2 years ago and just let Connect go to the rim with the court totally wide open and nobody under the basket to help. That, to me, was the big thing for Ament last night. He kept running in to help defenders when he would get to 4 feet, and that bothered him. And I think Barnes wanted it to bother him. I think Barnes was using that to make him, hey, it's going to be hard when you get in the paint sometimes, but I do think Okpara and Estrella can knock down the 3, apparently, and that would be really beneficial to getting them out of the paint when Ament wants to go one-on-one. That was my big takeaway. And that Boswell's probably not going to play nearly that kind of minute that we've seen. Right. Guys, thank you so much for all you're doing.
Love.
And GBO.
Thanks, man. Now, extra time. Go ahead.
Now, we'll support Boswell in this sense. If he takes care of the ball, like one time he had a horrendous turnover, Tony, where he just threw it straight over to Barnes, I believe. Outside of that, I don't think he was a negative. If his role is to be a defensive stopper and he takes care of the ball, Tony, he'll get rotation. Okay, I will say that. I don't know. It won't be 23 minutes, but if he could give 16 minutes or so, God, that's a bonus. As far as Okpara or Estrella shooting threes, I don't think you're going to see many of those those happen a game. Maybe 1 or 2 a game between the two. But I do think Rusty brings up a good point, and that's something we've not talked about, is the spacing's got to be better. Ament's got to have time to work and spread like they did with Boozer. They isolated Cade Phillips with Boozer. I think you'll see Barnes do that more. The benefit that Barnes has with Ament now, he knows he can run a spread offense and call that.
But they didn't call it last night. So everybody that's making these rash judgments about
that's a given.
And they didn't do any of it last night. That's why they just kind of let the game happen. And Rusty's right. It was a practice, and it's okay. I mean, Tennessee sold 200 those tickets for the downstairs seats were like a couple $100.
Yeah, it was not.
It was not cheap.
It was not cheap
for practice. I hope people understand that's what
practice.
I hope
Iverson.
people understand that's what they were watching.
We're talking practice, Tony.
Did you record it?
Go back and watch it if you did. I don't watch recorded games.
Okay, so Jimmy Dykes.
It's tough.
You'll like this. Describe the Jimmy Dykes segment, Bino, to Mark.
He's in Knoxville.
Oh yeah, he lives here.
Yeah.
I see him at the. I see him at the park.
Is his daughter a cheerleader or something?
She is.
Pom-pom girl or something?
Yeah, she is.
Valette. What do they call her now?
No Valette. That was our day. Bino, the segment on the bench with Barnes and Jimmy Dykes. Did you see it?
I did.
Describe it.
He just kind of walked over there and took a seat while the game was going on, and I would hope this was practice as well. And I
think it was cool.
Proceeded to interview him as the game was going on.
And Barnes was literally sitting there going, "We can't have that." If you went back and watched it, you'd think it was really interesting. I wish I knew what minute mark it was. It was in the first half. And it was out of one of the TV timeouts, and he happened to be sitting over there. If somebody can tell me exactly when that was so Mark can go look for it, it was really illustrative of the way Barnes coaches, because the things that we're looking at are not the things he was looking at.
We watched the ball. He doesn't watch the ball.
Well, and he said last night, that was totally wrong what just happened there, but it ended well. Like, we scored a basket, but he goes, but that was just not. And then there was something on the defensive end, and he said, that right there just can't happen. That's just not. He said, but that's what we're doing here. He told Jimmy, and he's watching the court the whole time. He said, what we're doing here, and I'm so glad they came in here to do this, because they're getting a good look at their guys, and we're getting a good look at our guys. Mm-hmm. And we're going to teach off this. This is what we're, because kids think, in those kids' minds, man, I just scored a bucket.
Yeah, right.
They're going to put the film up there and scream like hell at somebody, and the kid's going to go, yeah, but I scored. And Barnes going to go, that's not the point. The point is the process.
Right. Run your play.
Do
your job.
It's not that you scored a point.
Right.
I don't give a damn that you scored a point. It's an interesting thing because fans, I remember the kid that used to dunk all the time in practice, the kid from Texas, and everybody thought he was wildly talented. Brian, do you remember that kid's name?
Assume
No. A kid under Barnes.
Quay Parker or Quay?
No, it wasn't Quay. It was a couple years ago, guys. What was the guy's name? Anyway, he was always the dunker when they did and he used to say, man, watching him in warm-ups. And I used to say, guys, he's never going to play.
Yeah.
Jefferson. Because I knew people on the staff that told me that guy is going to see the court under this head coach the 12th and never.
Yeah. DJ? Was that his name? DJ?
Something like that, yeah. Because he didn't want to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this Berg or Borg or whatever, however they pronounce his name.
Well.
It's kind of like him. If you don't defend, you can have 25-foot range. Barnes is not going to play you if he can't trust you on defense.
And it's not. And another thing on top of that, sometimes you could defend, and prevent a score, but you're not defending the way the coach wants you to. So yes, they could say, "Well, coach, I got to stop."
Yeah.
They said, "Yeah, but you didn't do it in the fashion that we teach."
Mm-hmm.
So just getting a stop is not good enough because it's a system and it's the belief mentality that you're going to do it our way, and not just give yourself kudos because you didn't do it the right way.
And that's what's funny about that, about doing the call-in show down through the years. Yeah. You and I both know people over there, right? And we hear. And Barnes, once he makes his mind up about you, it's really hard to unchange his mind. Now, a couple guys have.
Mm-hmm. It's tough, though.
But it's hard.
And another thing that has nothing to do with Coach Barnes, but I did notice this last night. A Duke player dove in the stands, and I thought, oh my God, he's going to run over Mr. Haslam.
Yeah, he almost got him.
But guess what? Mr. Haslam's not sitting over there. They've created new seats right next to Coach Barnes.
That's right.
There's 4 front row seats.
That's
5 feet away.
What do you think they cost?
And then behind him they added 8 more, and then on the visiting side they have the 4 seats on the floor next to the clock area, and then 8 behind. I thought, they've added more to the millionaire row.
So those open seats, that was Mr. Haslam's seat?
Well,
he could have been in that seat.
That was last year's seats, but now he's next to Coach Barnes.
There you go.
Because I just noticed I was sitting there going, "Oh my God, what if Mr. Hassel was there? He'd been in the hospital because that guy just ran over some lady."
No, he wouldn't have been in the hospital. He would have been somewhere else.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have been on. He
that
wouldn't have been watching the rest of the game.
No, that would not have been good.
And they probably would have stopped the game for that.
But
my whole point, Tony, they've changed subtle changes in the arena this year that for those who've not yet gone or wasn't there last night, you'll see to maximize financial opportunities and some great seats and to make it even look more like the NBA because the NBA does that. They create those little pockets for the for the people that give all the money, and good for them. I thought it was awesome.
I sit with the peons. Back to the phones we go because I am a peon. Hello and welcome into our next call.
Hey Tony, how you doing though?
Hey, good to talk to you. Thank you.
Hey, listen, Mark Griffin.
Yes.
Is a VFL. I have some football questions, but Mark, I'd love to point out when I was in high school, I used to watch you throw your arms up in the air when that ball was going on that arc into that basket well before those SEC refs threw their arms up. And you were inspiring, sir.
Oh, well, thank you.
Now, you might have thrown your arms up a couple times you missed, but you an alpha, dude.
Well, I don't know if that's good or not, but
Where'd you get that, Griff?
I appreciate it.
Throwing the arms up.
Quick, short story for our caller and anybody that cares. Years ago, if you recall, gosh, I forgot the guy's name from Brazil. I think it was the World Champion Games, and this guy,
Oscar
Schmidt.
That's him.
Hit a 3-pointer over one of my least favorite players, Rex Chapman, Sexy Rexy, and he threw his arms up over him for a 3-point, celebration. And we had a practice the next day. We're running this full court drill where the trailer, which means the last man down the court, was just receive the ball at the top of the key. And that just happened to me. So I decided just out of fun, I thought, I'm going to throw, if I make a 3-point shot, I'm going to raise my arms like Oscar Schmidt did and hope Coach DeVoe didn't see it. And I hit a 3-pointer, and we ran this drill like 3 times back to back, and I just happened to hit like 2 or 3 in a row. So I thought, that's pretty cool. And the players just all started laughing. Coach DeVoe didn't say anything. And then we play USC the next game at home. And one of my managers, who was a good friend of mine, said, Griff, you ought to raise your arms if you hit a 3-pointer like you did in practice. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it, which was kind of radical because Coach DeVoe scared everyone. So I hit a 3-pointer, and I thought, okay, I'm going to keep doing this because I had a sports psychologist. Yes, I saw, like many of us back in the late 80s, started this seeing a sports psychologist about visualization at the time. It was a hot new topic. And I used to have free throw shooting problems, and my sports psychologist's name was Craig Risberg, and he would say, Mark, when you shoot a free throw, think soft as a pillow, soft as a pillow. So when other guys are up there praying or saying whatever at the line, we'd see their lips moved, I would say, soft as a pillow, soft as a pillow. But we talked about my 3-point shot, and the sports psychologist said, Mark, I want you to visualize every time the ball is being passed to you, before you shoot it, I want you to see yourself running down the court with your arms in the air. That's where that got started. It was all about visualization. It was not about showing off, not about the tension being towards me, even though it was, in a sense. It was meant to be a confidence builder to help me improve my shooting percentage. So that's where that came about. And I'm just thankful Coach DeVoe let me do it, and I was able to have relative success shooting a 3-pointer when we ever were allowed to shoot a 3-pointer. But that's where that comes from.
I wanted to see Euros Plouffe shoot a 3 and run down the court with his arms in the air. That'd be pretty next level.
Well, that would. But Mark, you were one of my favorite players ever play here. One of my favorite players ever play here. You were inspiring, and thank you for your contribution to this wonderful university. Now, moving on to football.
Well, thank you, first
Tony. Well, I appreciate that, Mark. Tony, moving on to football, it looks like our home games next year, if Sarkisian can't beat Vandy and loses A&M, I think 3 of those 4 home games are going to have brand new coaches. What do y'all think?
Sarkisian's the favorite at the Titans, they're saying.
What's the connection?
Well, I agree with you, because if he loses 2 more games, he's out of there, isn't he?
Well, they're going to be all over his ass. And he's right. Lane Kiffin could be coaching LSU next year in Neyland Stadium.
Well, LSU's a better job than Florida.
I agree with that.
But it's not a better job than Texas, but I don't think Texas takes Kiffin.
No, they're too hoity-toity for Lane Kiffin. No, they're way
I agree.
too
They'll bring in some loser.
Yeah, you're right. They'll find a loser.
They'll find a loser and bring him right on in.
But man, that schedule next year.
Go ahead, Tony.
No, that schedule next year. I'm just thinking about how hard that's going to be.
Well, if you're looking at brand new coaches at LSU, Texas, and Auburn, why don't we just go pop those players?
That's what you're going to do. That's what everybody's going to do.
We better have the RAD better have a team out there right now popping those players, because that's what you need to do.
It's done by the staffs. Basically, what these staffs do now, which is very interesting, which didn't happen before, they have so many people internally in these buildings now. It's like modern-day Babylon.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. These staffs are so metastasized. Like Barnes has 2 rows of people. God knows what they're doing. But in football, they've got GAs and people like that are assigned a league. Then they have some people that are assigned teams within this league, and they file a full report on everybody, what each player will cost. They're all doing it. Is this person gettable? Does this person have heat with their assistant coach? What kind of ice cream does this person like? And they try to recruit them off these rosters. They're all doing it. It's how Miami knew that they were going to be able to shake our safety loose last year, which is what they did after practice. They're all doing it too.
And to be honest with you, if we could pop a couple defensive linemen off of Texas, Auburn, and Penn State, we could have a top 5 defense next year.
Amen. That you got to do that.
No doubt about it.
You have to think like that. Look, besides needing defensive line help, linebackers, and help in the secondary, Tennessee's really going to have a good defense next year, I think.
Well,
besides those 3 things.
I do. We're bringing in one of the best safeties in the country. I don't know if you've been following that kid.
Put him out.
I mean, that kid is like 6'5", and he is a stud.
Put him out there right away.
Is Redmond a senior, Tony?
No, Redmond's.
Oh, God, okay. I'll leave that alone.
2 more years of him. God. Hey, thank you for the call. I appreciate you, brother. The thing with Redmond Bino is, and I feel sorry for him, he's out there way before Bino he should be out there. That's the problem here.
Number 4.
Yeah, he's just a freshman, baptism under fire. I think he's going to be a good player.
I do too.
He's definitely a holy man.
This wasn't the year to have him out there. I got a quick question.
He
Tony.
said he's been baptized.
He's been baptized a lot. He's very holy.
No question.
Griff, come on, man.
Do you and Griff have like an Orgeron habit going on, or you don't have a clock down there? Exactly what's going on?
What time is it?
It's about 2:30. Can
no,
we
it's
get out
not.
of
even listening?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It most certainly is.
Oh, my gosh.
We think this was the post-game show for Pick a Sport. Hey, Tony, before we do go, though, I want to share one thing.
Hit it.
You mentioned about GAs and, people and their job responsibilities. I wanted to pass this on that's new that I witnessed last year when I went to watch UT play on a road trip. We didn't have years ago, and it's a new trend. And now that the coaching change, tell me if I'm wrong, but isn't a coach allowed to challenge a call during a game, or is there 1 or 2 challenges, or there's some challenge?
Yeah, they've changed it now. That's right.
Okay,
we didn't see it last night, but that's right.
So with that said, and I don't know how many years they've been doing this across the country, but I have watched UT when I was sitting close to the bench. They've got multiple guys that have like a little iPad.
That's right.
And they're watching in real time. A controversial call, out of bounds call. This person's job is to hit rewind really quick and play the play, within a few seconds. Barnes turns around and looks for that person to give the thumbs up, argue it, let it go. This didn't happen in the past. This is the video technology they have now, that they have the live game, live feed, to where they can diagnose if they want to challenge or really or ride the referee. If they can't, because last year you couldn't challenge, but it gives Barnes ammunition to say, hey, this was a bad call, and he's pointing it out, because these coaches are strategic when they're arguing a call, saying you missed that one, because they're hopeful they'll give them a call down the road.
And we're not going to have the silly-ass thing where you're watching, where you're looking at a million replays anymore. Last night, the officials went over and checked the timing in a damn exhibition game.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, Barnes called for that, though. It was possession play on the end line, because the ball was rolled around. I think
I'd have said, hey,
kicked
Coach.
Yeah, but still,
we're in practice.
You still want to win.
We're in practice, Coach.
And they were seeing if it was a change of possession, which would restart the clock.
You want to
which
win.
It was.
You got
Tony.
Bishop Boswell on the floor for 24.
How many turnovers did he have, though?
24 minutes.
Who's going to play before him?
Hopefully somebody.
Berg.
Or I'm never going to hear Bino, am I ever going to hear the end of it from Negative? Bino? Bino, are you gone? Did Bino leave us?
He fell asleep. Probably like your listeners, Tony.
Bino, give me the final word here, boys, on the way out. Go ahead. Beanstar, it's customary, Bino. And Mark wants you to follow tradition here. He's in Rome right now. Final word, Beanstar. Hit it.
I'm not gone, Tony. I'm still here. I guess the final word is, Mark, it was great to be in here with you. It's been too long, so I look forward to the next time I get to share some airtime with you. And this Saturday's a really, really special day. Oklahoma coming into Neyland Stadium. That was something I never thought I would see, and I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully Tennessee goes out there and takes care of business.
Unbelievable. Griff, thanks, man.
Sure.
Great seeing you. Bri, who do we have tomorrow and Wednesday on the show?
Mason Young, and then Wednesday, Barry Trammell.
Mason Young, Tulsa World, is that right?
Yes, and then Barry Trammell from the Oklahoma Columnist. Long time.
Yeah,
he's there, John Adams.
No, he is a legendary figure across that state. He's like an Oklahoma historian / columnist. He's kind of one of a kind. Very folksy guy, very fun. The late, great Keith Hatfield used to have him on all the time. So he reminds me of him. And we still need your tickets. Go over to tclub.team, hit that email address, send Brooke your New Mexico State tickets. You can miss a football game. We need 400 of them, not I. We need 400 of them, and we need you to come through. We've got like 25 in hand right now. And we're 3 weeks out, so don't make me berate you into giving your tickets up.
Hey, Tony, one last thing.
Yes.
TR, he passed away, right?
ZR. Yeah.
How ironic that a week ago, Tony, I sent you a text like, when are we going to beat Florida?
That's right.
And that was his line for
that was
how
his line.
many years?
The best.
And then he passed. And what that showed me, Tony, about like Hatfield and others is how many people over the 30-something years that you've been on the air that have been a part of this show that are no longer with us, but were dedicated to this time to spend with you and our other listeners. Says a lot about your show and a lot about your listeners over the year. And I just send my condolences to his family.
Amen.
Because I always laughed every time he came on the air to say that same line. When we gonna beat Florida?
Tony, when we gonna beat Florida?
And I just had to say something because I don't know when I'll be on your show next.
Hey,
you may not have me after today. I don't know.
Head.
Community is such an important thing, and it's just kind of how I'm oriented. And we love characters. And Perry Cooper's a total character.
And this is a great escape for
it's
me
the
and
best,
others
man.
in this tough world
Yep.
we're living in.
Oh, God,
and
Mark.
We could have fun with it. And
Sure.
You just make it such a joy, Tony. And,
I'm a moron.
And I know you get no sleep. And
I'm going to get some sleep right now.
You need to get some rest, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to get some rest right now. Griff, love you.
All right, love you, brother.
To the living listener, appreciate you. Thanks for being there. I want to thank my friends at TLD Logistics. They're online at tldlogistics.com. Shout out to all our great sponsors as well. Please support them as you get the opportunity. We went 90 minutes today. I wasn't even planning on doing an overtime, but Griff moved me. I had no idea it was that late. So, Laura, I apologize to you as well. She'll be mad at me. Till we meet again, for all those behind the scenes, peace on the streets, peace in the Middle East. We love you. It's unbelievable, Andy Mack. And let's run today's activity back.
Against that team, which is unbelievable. But through all the ineptitude.
Here you go.
However.
FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville.